I forgot.
Mm-hmm. All right. Woo! 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 Welcome to another session here on the Chaos Rain channel. As you know, I go by the name Chaos Rain here. It's gonna be very interesting tonight. But before I give you the title and what is gonna be laid out, join the Twitter of the Chaos Rain channel at Chaos Rain 7. That's my Twitter. Follow me on Twitter. Also, follow me, add me as a friend on Facebook. Eric Rain on Facebook. Also, join the Discord service of the Chaos Rain channel. Yeah. Okay. So, and actually, if you notice the Discord service, that's actually on the About section of the Chaos Rain channel. And I always keep promoting it because I do use Twitter. I do use Facebook. And at times, I do use Discord. So, like I said, follow me on those 3 links. I don't know if any other social media I could probably create. If y'all guys have any ideas, leave a suggestion in the comment section because, like I said, I only can invest so much time on social media. It's too time consuming. I'm not sure how people do it every day where they're just on there posting things, doing things on social media. I couldn't do it personally. I'm around it, but I could not really entertain it that long, in my opinion. But that's just me. That is just me. Let me see. So I'm just checking, do a little housekeeping for a minute. And let me put this here. Some weird housekeeping. All right, so those are links there. I'm checking my other end. Make sure I don't forget nothing. Also, if y'all feel that some of the videos that I have done up to this point, it is to your liking or you just hate it, it'd be better to leave a comment, your own thoughts and opinions, whether it's a lengthy live stream or less than under 5-minute video. All feedback is going to take into consideration, in my opinion. One other thing I did not also mention, I'm also on Clubhouse. As you know, this is simulcasting on Clubhouse as well. And I'm checking it now. I probably have not added no one because I'm actually simulcasting through different apps right now. And I'm trying to figure how to use the Clubhouse for some reason. I'm still trying to understand this little weird app. I don't know if I need to maximize this. Yeah, do the first chat. Yeah, I still don't know how to use this thing still. Pin a link, mute. How this works. This thing's weird. It is weird. Yeah, it's a lot of things. I'm still trying to figure out the Clubhouse thing. Well, maybe someone will come in. If not, it is what it is. I can't really mess with it right now because I still have to get used to it, and I'm still not used to it. It's public, so let me focus on what I'm doing right now. I left it open anyway for those. But anyway, comment from JT Coinrings. He says, I can't do it either. I work full time and am a very hand-on father and of 2 daughters. Social media is lacking. One thing I will say, I'm texting. JT, I know you're older adult. I'm not sure how old your daughters are. If I had to make a suggestion, and this is just me now, if you can moderate how much your children are on social media. And the reason why I say this is very crucial because how social media is being run now and how it's going to play out, they are going to affect more the minds and hearts of our young people much faster than anyone of us, because we are at the age now that it doesn't bother us too much. Because how you could manipulate someone that's already of age should be the biggest question. That's the question we should ask ourselves. And the answer is you cannot. And you shouldn't either. But, so like I said, always monitor what your children is listening and consuming personally. It will go a long way because the future doesn't look slim for our young people that's watching this crap. I think every day, all day, they're being constantly infected with the propaganda of social media. And the only thing we have to combat it is to really regulate what our children is really consuming. That's just my suggestion. I mean, everybody else will take their own precautions how to move around social media, but that's the best way to go forth. Let's see. Okay. Hold on. Okay, let's send this out. All right. I think that's all. I know. I don't think I missed anybody. Look like all right. So all links sent. I talked to Mr. Oh, all right. Let me look here. I talk to Dr. Ma'at about this all the time. Yes, and one thing with Dr. Ma'at, because she is a PhD in as an engineer, she knows the real consequence of social media and how it really taken hold of our children, that they're mimicking, they're conducting, they're behaving very irrational with all this social media and all this subliminal messages. And all we could do is combat by really either cut it off completely or regulate it. That's the only surefire bet. So let me see. Do I got everything here? Yeah, I look like I got everything. Oh, I forgot Mr. Spurley. Can't forget him. All right. All right, let's jump to the matters ahead. The topic. Brittney Renner versus Pearly Things. Oreo with milk, please. And as you know, the terms Oreo. What is an Oreo? If people are not understanding what the word Oreo means, it means you have 2 nice, what do you call it? Black cookies or black ends with the white filling cream put together makes a sandwich. And hence you create something out of it. Or what they like to call the term mulatto. As you know, Brittney Renner is a mulatto creation from her Caucasian mother and her black father. So anywho, let's look at this reaction and see how this turns out. Now, mind you, this was probably done maybe a day ago or two, and it's gonna make its rounds, as you know. But I like to do a little twist on this and get my own perspective. Let's be honest, this is modernization and thotism, or I'd call just that in the 21st century. So let's begin and enjoy.
Yeah, sorry. I said I should. I didn't say I would.
Yeah. My question to you was, what part of the hate comments resonated with you to where you were like, okay, why does this hurt me?
I think it hurt me because I love men.
Now, mind you, as you know, I don't know if I did content on Miss Pearl Things, but this is really in the UK, where her establishment is, and she has a plethora of many guests. They're up in here going around. They're sitting into this nice couch, nice leather gray couch or white couch, you want to call it, and they're having discussions about relationships. But the question we ask to a lot of people that comes on here, are they even in a relationship? Much as a long-term relationships or healthy relationships. Nonetheless, where is the relationships? Besides talking about the lack of or the shortcomings of relationships. Nonetheless, let's continue. And you see the fair use and effect as you see down here. Yeah, good. Let's go.
Mm-hmm. And obviously, what those men were taking from, I don't like, I'm misandrist, and they were saying, oh, this is why she'll be single forever. I'm like, I have men, you know, and I love them. So it's like, why are you coming from me in that way, like making me feel like I have no value just because I'm talking about my opinions and stuff. So I think that's what really got me, because I don't want to be seen like I'm anti-men. Do you know what I mean? That's not what I'm about. Like, I'm just about women having their rights, women having their autonomy. That's it. But men, do your thing. You're kings. We love you, you know? That's kind of what I want to be known for. And I think I didn't like that I was seen in that light. Mm-hmm. And it made me think, is it the stuff I said? Are they misconstruing what I said? Do you know what I mean?
Right. It's definitely what you said and how you said it.
Yeah. What do you think I said, though?
And I'll tell you why. Because I watched the interview as well. And I'll compare my...
Now, mind you, she has no problem. You know what I mean? She has no problem. Hold on. Wait 1 second, guys. She has a problem in her choices. She has a problem with a man exploring their options. That's good. That's fine. But as you know, sweetie, the British woman, I'm not sure she's from Caribbean descent or African descent, mostly from the either islands or actually continent Africa. But as you know, when we talk about modernization, a lot of dudes will find that you just want to be messing around. And probably your views are different from the modern man's views on how they view how you should move out here in these streets. The streets are always calling, ladies. Just keep that in mind. But anyway, I guess this woman's combating, about to give her some school or whatever. I'm not sure who the lady is in the middle. We all know we see Miss Renner right here. As you know, the biggest just out here, you know. Have you ever noticed that Brittney always finds herself in these certain predicaments and these certain shows that already put a bad smear on her name? I mean, I just don't get it. You think a woman, and she's now 30 years old of this year, and she'll turn 31 in next 2 months, that the last thing you want to be put yourself in is these shows that really, you're not really interested in getting into a marriage. You might want to deal with long-term relationships, possibly, but marriage, I just don't see it, sweetie. But anyway, let's continue. Fair use and effect.
To you,
listen,
because me and you, listen.
But you get hate too, though.
Listen,
all the time.
Exactly. I'm the troublemaker for a reason, because I come here and every single time I'm on one of the episodes, there's people saying, pa, 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 pa. I've had people approach me in life, in real life, to say to me, you're basically 30 now and you ain't got a man. I need to take you to my church. And they were actually quite intentionally haterific in my face. But guess what? This is the thing. I really don't care, because what I believe is my truth. And whatever people are telling me doesn't stick to me, because their hate towards me is more sometimes a reflection of themselves, because they cannot understand how Denalva can say all of these things and still feel good about herself. I don't really care if somebody's telling me I'm 30, I'm going to be on my own and I don't have a man, because my truth is that if I want to be with somebody, I can work for it.
But
and
the thing about me is,
it.
I reflect on myself a lot. I feel like everyone should. And if you feel like you're doing something wrong, and if a lot of people are saying the same thing, I have to think, wait, am I doing the right thing? Is what they're saying
But
true?
why?
So I think, obviously, I have self-confidence in myself, yeah, but I also need to reflect and actually think, okay, I know what I believe in. Am I being delusional? You know what I mean?
But why would
Now, besides delusional, which I hope she goes into more detail, that have you noticed that a lot of ladies are talking about their truths? So when they impose and tell that they are living this so-called truth, are they really being honest about living in the truth? Because last time I checked, to be truthful, you gotta be honest with yourself and be honest with the opposite mate. And we all know how men think today, ladies. If you're saying that you want to be out here for these streets and still hold some remnants of relationship, to me, I would say more than 98% of men are not going to be down for that. They're going to be very uncomfortable that you want to, be out here in these streets personally. Now, are there any exceptions to the rule that some men won't want their ladies to be out here on the streets, do what the hell they want, and then still hope they come home or whatever to some remnants of a man or a mate? It's very hard to say. It's very slim. Person, and it's getting more and more slimmer as you know how the mindset of men think today and how they're put out what their standards or what they really expect out of good majority of relationships. And personally, one thing that you have maybe to look forward to this, that you're not gonna go the one approach with the opposite sex, ladies. I think you rather go with the playing the games route and hope that the man has psychic abilities to figure out what you really want. Anyway, let's keep going. Fair use, in fact.
You take offense. Why would you take offense to it? If someone's like telling you something, you can either, if you know yourself, you can be like, okay, they don't know what they're talking about, or you can take it, assess it, take what they said, and then leave the pieces that you're like, yeah, no, that's not me. Why would you get offended by something? Because when I first came on the show, they didn't like me at all, and I was just like, well, I don't know why they don't like me. Or I would listen to what they were saying. I was like, okay, well, maybe I should listen more, take what they say and say and do things differently or say things differently and understand from them. And if they're speaking a little rubbish, I'm like, okay, y'all don't know what you're talking about. Go on with your life. But I don't think you should get offended. First of all, it's the internet. Everybody gonna say whatever they want to say.
I hate that people always say it's the internet.
It's life. Bump the internet. It's life.
People are killing themselves because of the internet. Like, we need to start.
People are killing themselves outside of the internet.
So, try to talk into your mic a little closer.
We need to have a bit of censorship because people just keep saying it's the internet. It's the internet. When I came on the show, it was so overwhelming. Like, so much like.
But why are you coming on the internet?
But you also remember you also made the choice like you were talking most of the show, and there's people that come on, they don't really know what type of show it is, and they just keep quiet. I can see the shock in their face, and I know, but I'm saying, like, if you see the type of environment and you don't like it, you can always just opt out.
That's what I was gonna leave. As soon as I was like, okay, this is that type of vibe.
But then you're just walking out.
I was gonna leave.
It's like you're walking out of a situation. It's
exactly.
Like, why?
Then I look bad because I'm like, oh, she can't hold her own.
But then you
could have.
Now, as they're babbling, and make sure you guys like the stream if you can, possibly. That's a very hard question to say. Should the internet be more regulated or censored? Personally, the internet is censored. Case in point, you cannot put anything politically or anything that what they consider conspiracy on the internet. Viva social media, viva YouTube, viva etc. So we are censored. The problem is they're not going to censor bullshit. What I mean, if you're doing drama, arguing, bickering, fighting on the internet, on TV shows, etc., 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 there's no need to censor that because it makes great distraction. Why would they want to waste time censor that where they could censor the other stuff that has to make you think? And trust me, a lot of people don't want to think. Thinking requires energy. Thinking requires a lot of things. And last thing you want is people to be thinking. So I'm scrolling down. Oh, look, I see some people I'm adding on Clubhouse scene. Let me see. All right. As you know, I'm moving, bouncing around, see what's going on the other side of things. So really, the whole premise is they're not going to censor the nonsense, the ratchetness, the degeneracy. Oh, no. Now, mind you, they will censor maybe certain nudity. But we all know that's not going to happen. No. They're only going to put the censor on the other stuff. The stuff that makes you think. Capiche? So keep that in mind as you continue on listening. Fair use and effect. Let's continue.
And you could have just been quiet and said, okay, like when I've maybe been offended silently. And then just when a camera moved, just walked out. Like there's girls that have done that. It's not like I don't force anyone to be here.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I didn't know the type of environment it was. I didn't even know I was coming on the show. Eddie, I'm gonna call you out. Eddie reached out to me, and I thought I was going on his podcast, and then obviously I was here. So I didn't know this was gonna happen. I didn't know. Obviously, now that I know, that's when you invited me for this episode, I understood what it's about. And it's like, okay, don't take anything personal. And obviously, I have a podcast. When I have guests come on my show. I'm very I care about how they feel because I'm a massive believer in protecting people's mental health because I've seen what people go through. Like people want to kill themselves because of this stuff, and I don't want to contribute towards it. And I don't care if it's an entertainment. I do not fucking care. We need to protect people's mental health, and that's how I run my show. And a lot of shows that I've been on, like even stand-up TV, I got a lot of hate.
Wait,
but
how are you?
Wait. Harry was like, guys, please just check in. Is everyone okay? Obviously, I didn't get that from you, and it was just very
well, actually.
But do you realize? No one forced you to say anything. No one forced you to.
How you doing, Positive Vibes? How you doing? I'm good. Hope everything going well, sis. Make sure you share and like this. I might soon start adding new moderators on the channel, the ones that pop a little bit more. But like I said, I gotta do maybe a video on that to see how I'm regulate moderation. Anyway, let's continue. Fair use.
Put yourself out there. You were saying the thing. So how is, because Pearl didn't reach out to you to see if you were okay because.
Oh, what's good, Juju?
Everything happened.
I'm not blaming Pearl.
No, I know you're not.
A bit toxic.
But you were saying things like Pearl said. If you didn't want people to come after you, you could have just sat back.
Before I continue this stream, I have a few ladies in the chat room right now. Now, ladies, what is your views on Miss Pearly Things as a whole? Do you feel this so-called Caucasian lady should be having podcasts talking about what we call black issues, where there's only majority black folks and nobody else on podcasts? I want to hear from y'all. Please respond in the chat room if you can. Let's continue. Fair use and effect.
But you can't have followers. I didn't know.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you don't know the followers. It's life. People are gonna come at you no matter what. Internet, off the internet. So if you don't want people coming at you, it's just like, okay, sit back, not say anything.
It's just an accountability thing. Like I just feel like when Andrew was talking about how everything in life is your fault, I literally believe that.
Yeah.
Because it's like you know, when that girl came on and she like got a couple points on me, and honestly, like I felt like she was just arguing. I just felt she came in like heated, right, and like ready to say all this stuff, and I just wasn't prepared. But like instead of saying, oh, like she clickbaited me, she did this, and this, I'll be like, you know what, I wasn't prepared. Right. I'll take my L. I'll let her get her TikTok clout off of it. But
I think what I take accountability is.
All right, I see you do it, wrote. Hold on, I can't see that. Hold on, Juju. Oh, okay. I think I'll be able to see it. Hold on. You're saying Pearly Things is in her own lane. Different audience. Some of her casts are black. So if the black ones discuss some issues, I guess it's okay. Okay. And she also follows up. I think her podcast is actually interesting. Interesting. You know, my view is when I watch certain content creators, this is me personally. That if you have a majority of an opposite audience than more of you within your own cultural group, I always have my eyebrows raised and the red flags start to come around, because that tells me the only success and only sustainability you have is through the backing of other racial groups. Is not majority of your own demographics. So imagine if you turn and you go left or you slip up to your majority demographics that follow your podcast. This could be a wrap for you personally. And that's where the danger arises, especially when it comes to like content creators like Miss Pearl. But like I said, you know how most people are today. Whoever likes and gravitates to your content, you more cater to the audience. But there is responsibility and there is some form of accountability overall. When you only cater and you keep putting out content, only these group of people follow and support your channel. And it goes back to one-on-one. You must know your audience and have to keep catering and respecting your audience. I mean, that's how the game works. But let me see what else right in the chat room. True, I get where you're coming from with that one. Yep, correct. Positive Vibes wrote, I find it odd she doesn't have any credibility or never been married. However, she wants to teach a class on how to be a wife. How? And that is a problem, Positive Vibes. At 26 years old, and mind you, she is, I think she is a Sagittarius. Her birthday passed a few weeks ago. And this is my thing, Positive Vibes and Juju. And I got pushback for this. That I said, and this is what I've concluded. Anyone that's under 30 should not be giving really life lesson advice to people that is a decade or more older than them. And here's why I always hold claim to this. And it's beyond what Pearl's doing. This is in general. In your 20s, you up here just figuring things out. You're making mistakes. You might be getting relationships. Hell, you might even have a baby or whatever case, circumstance you put yourself in life. That should be the time when you should be growing and gaining and going through your shortcomings and struggles in your 20s. Those are the years that you should understand how life is, what life awaits you, and what life possibly be for you in the coming decades while you're a young adult. Those are the times that people should be investing in. But overall, like I said, they come to a point where they find someone, they might have studied somebody, whatever case may be, they up here giving relationship and marriage. You can't make this shit up, really. And I'm looking and say, and here's this. Here's me. I get it. We don't ask these questions when we're a certain age as adults, but personally, now that if you're a man or woman and you're in your 30s, you need to start using your critical thinking. You need to start asking questions to people that present themselves trying to teach you about dating, relationship, or anything about life. You need to. Because the internet now is full of this nonsense now. As far as I'm going to take it. I'm going to keep playing and I'm going to read y'all comments in a second. But let's continue. Fair use and effect.
I should have asked more questions to Eddie. So when Eddie was like, oh, you want to come on a YouTube channel? And that's literally what he said, a YouTube channel about relationships. I should have asked which YouTube channel. Because he's a podcaster. He has a podcast. I just assumed
Sister.
that
but what was stopping you when you got here? I know that was his show. Okay, but like, what was stopping you when you got here and you realized it wasn't his podcast from like Googling the podcast you were on?
I didn't Google it because we're already here.
And,
we literally started.
I know, but I'm saying you usually get like a half hour before the show starts. People like will chill out, hang out, whatever. So you could look up the podcast. You could see the titles within 5 minutes of research, and I've had people do that. And leave.
Just leave. Yeah. You live and you learn. And this is why I will never accept any invitation to any show, any podcast until I know exactly what I'm walking into.
But here's the thing, like I'm trying
to get insulted.
No, I just tell you something.
I just feel like walk into anything, be brave. Like
it's opportunity. It's
I'll walk into any room.
If you would have never came on, you wouldn't be sitting here. If you would have left, you wouldn't be sitting here. It's an opportunity.
And that's the point. That is the point. Everything you decide and every decision you make is either going to make or break you as a person. Now, I'm not sure how old these two ladies are next to Brittney Renner. I know Brittney's 30. I'm not sure how old the other ladies are. But you must take advantage of any opportunity that's presented to you. Now, you might have some doubts of where it'll take it, where it's going. But nonetheless, unless you jump into the fire, you're never going to know. Now, let me read these other comments. Where am I? All right. Juju writes, Chaos, yes, I agree. Under 35, in my opinion. And if I had a range of an age where if you want to consider anybody of a certain caliber, man or woman that's going to give you any form of advice or whatever, education or etc., the range I would say is acceptable. Now, this is me. For everybody else, everybody moves differently and how they want to take people's advice or listen to people that's maybe younger than them. It starts for me if you're around 33 years of age. At best. That is the perfect range. If I had to ask. If you're giving anything of any substance information, I have to ask that. And eventually I will probably ask that, depending on how, if I see, and I might just be curious to ask. Now, everybody else, they could probably use, if anybody's around over 30, that's even better too. But for me, I say 33 is the starting point. Next comment. Derek Jackson shows that. Yes. Oh, especially, did y'all know, especially Juju? Juju, did you know that when Derek Jackson started writing his books and all stuff, you know what age he was when he started, after all this, when he started doing this venture of a life coach, relationship expert, etc., he was just only 22 years old. Actually, 22 going on 23. Sorry, my fault. Math was wrong. Did you know that, Juju? Right now, Derek Jackson right now is 33 years of age. Around this year. Let that sink in. Next comment. No, we follow Sagittarius. Do not claim her. Okay. Hey, yo. We know Poppy's in the building. People don't even have it all the way to get at 35. And that is another problem. And I think one of the few things besides if your money's not at that point yet, yeah. But really, the giver is where you are mentally. Now, as you know, Juju, I've maybe come across a few people, mostly for the internet. In real life, I've not come across it yet. Maybe some of my family. But I've noticed people that are around their 30s still not there at a place mentally like they're of age or maturity, which is very frightening. It's bizarre to me because last time I checked, as you get older in life as a man and woman, your wisdom and your maturity should be as even more equally yoked as you get older. But in this society, what I've noticed, a lot of people are being regressive as they get older in the first world industrialized / techno age society. So the environment we're in today, the environments we live in, make us more backwards. They make us more less how you say it, develop. And there's more deeper conversation why that is, but we can't really go for that rabbit hole at this time. Let's keep going. Yeah, what's good, Papa Chew? Yeah, I hope everybody hits the like button, please. And I say hello, Ski. When this one happened? I said this happened, I think Monday, maybe, or is it Sunday? One of them days. Yes, please like and support. Now, Juju says maybe 40 and up. Yeah, I mean 40 is even perfect. See, I'm not knocking any woman or any man's decision on what it take, any form of life lessons or experience or whatever, or any of the nature from someone that is not either your age, older, or just a few years younger than you. I have no negative remarks for that, because like I said, we have too many people now, because the internet is more universal now, that they're putting out here, popping up, talking about life coach, life experience, all this nonsense. And here's the funny thing that they got under their belt. They said, I went and got a certification, so I'm qualified. To me, I look at you dead in your face and say, how old are you? You're not qualified to get anything about life coach, life lessons. You need to be living life. Life is a journey, an experience like anything else. And unfortunately, we're very complacent as people that we don't live enough life. Personally, but and I'm just keeping it real. Next one. He was in his 20s. Yes, he was in his 20s, yes. All right. Yes, it's when he first started. I used to be like, why is anyone listening to him? And like I said, that's the question everybody should be asking. But like I said, and I'm going to say this again. A lot of people today overshadow or overlook people because they either look good, mostly aesthetic, right? They look good in the face, body looks decent, that won't put the rational thinking of when they present information towards them, they don't put the factor of the age factor. So let me stop reading these comments for now. Gotta keep going. It's a very long video, so I'm gonna try to get through this as much as possible. Let's continue. Fair use and effect.
The truth every single time, especially when it comes to the internet. You know one thing, there'll be people that like it, there'll be people that don't like it, especially if you now have an opinion that is strong. Whatever that opinion is, be ready to face the backlash. Because I met you through Castillo, when I went on his show, I knew that there was a possibility that people go against me because I come with a different personality, and I'm always ready. The moment the camera is on, I know the consequences of my actions. So there is no excuse to go somewhere and be like, the camera is on and now your haters are your followers are haters, and now you are this and you are that. You go on that, you be ready for anything. It's showbiz. That's how it is.
I have to keep bringing it back. You're Sagittarius. You guys are thick.
No, I'll tell you the difference.
I'm a whole Pisces.
No.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what sign you are.
Okay. No.
Wait. Actually, wait. She said you're a Pisces.
She's a Pisces.
So why is she okay?
Because you didn't come for her. There was nothing. Like,
if anything, Brittney has more of a reason to hate me than anyone here.
Supposedly, Pearl posted a video.
Pearl felt attacked? No, I mean, no, I didn't feel attacked. I felt like because Pearl is not in my situation, I feel like it's easy to be like, oh, well, you made a mistake. Because let's go back to what she said during the podcast, which was we were talking about the kid stuff. She's like, well, you made a poor choice. These are the repercussions. I can see how you feel that way, but like, let me try to break it down for you so you can understand. So I get it. It's like, if you're not, it's all fun and games until it's you. So that's where for me, like, it's not even like, oh, she's.
No, that's false. That's false. Here's why. Hold on. It's not all fun and games until it's you. Because, and this is where the line has to be drawn. You chose to be a baby mama, which you could have been maybe a wife. Now, I'm not sure if PJ is getting married to another thought or another jump off, whatever case may be. But because the man is a basketball player and he's making a few $1 million, he feels he just likes to soil his royal oats. And there's going to be repercussions for a lot of young men that's not there mentally yet. Because you now making big money, that means you go expel your seed to every woman you see. Y'all always hear the notion, ladies, about this thing called dick discipline. That has to be a taught behavior. It's not somebody that's born with that shit, unfortunately. But let me read some comments because people wrote some more things in chat. Where am I? All right. Juju wrote, he's 3 years older than me. Oh, damn, is he? Damn, Juju. I did not know that. Shit. Okay. All right. 3 years older than you. So that makes you, Juju, you're one of the earlier mid-90s baby. Roughly 1993 at much, if my math is right. But I could be wrong. Let's keep going. Let me see what else. Yes, I'm bumping into too many immature 30-plus-year-olds. Okay. Actually, no, I'm right. If he's 3 years older than you, then yeah, I'm right. You're 29. Because no, my fault. No. You were born 1992. My fault. I'm sorry, Juju. Okay. I knew Jackson was lying. He's always sound over the top to me. Yes, he is. The laugh emojis. Brittney did have a choice to yeah, she did have a choice. And here's the rumor about this. When she got knocked up, PJ was willing to go as far as make her a wife, but she said she don't want to be married to him. And my biggest question is, okay, you don't want to be married, so that means you're still out here on these streets. You still search for something better, or you search something that you want to be in control. Is one thing or the other. Make up your goddamn mind. You can't set yourself up to be a baby mama and eventually put yourself in the market, maybe get some child support here and there, and then say, now I'm ready to be a wife when I'm ready. It don't work like that. Shit. It does. Matter of fact, I can see why a lot of women like Brittney, but she is black by the rules or what they call notion of the one-drop rule. Why she moves and behaves the way she does. It's because it's simple. Because there's going to be some beta male out here that's willing to take her so-called red ass. Yeah, I got to keep real with y'all. Make sure you guys hit the like button. I see some people watching. Like the stream, people. Hit the like. Likes are free. I can see that. You're just here. She's only looking for the next man that she could sit there. Hopefully that everything falls in place, that will take the ring, knowing that he'll be a submissive slave, a submissive butler. Because that's what she's looking for. That's what she wants. She's looking for that man. I would say other groups of men, but we all know damn well she only qualifies for a nigga. Because let's be honest, I gotta keep real. Any non-black man takes her, you dumb as hell. Yes, I said. And the only way that's gonna happen, he's gonna be pretty much beta. He's gonna be soft. If you able to get one of those and do that, probably makes pretty decent money. But overall, this is as good as it's going to get. And personally, she does not qualify for any other high-tier man. Only man going to look to her or envision her is, let's be honest, as a jump-off. So yes, Pearl was right in her notion of you, Miss Renner. Let's continue. Very specific.
It's coming from me. I'm just trying to explain to her, this is my perspective. It takes two to tango. Don't put all that on me. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, I open my legs and I can have a baby.
Mind you open your legs to not just one man, you open your legs to many men. I.e., you said that you had what they call 2 men and 1 woman in your own IG. which you can still find on the internet. It's still posted. It's floating. The internet is forever. It's out there. Yes, it's out there. You're a woman that likes to engage in very much promiscuous behavior. Now, mind you, you're going to hear a lot of women today. And, I'm going to say this. She falls in line like all other entertainers. She's more of a model-ish type entertainer. Like the Meg Thee Stallions, how she goes around and jumps on and bounces on from one cock to the next cock. It's almost like a serious merry-go-round. What they call it? I think they call it the cock carousel. It's like Ring Around Rosie. It's like that. You're just riding on, and then you're jumping off and jumping on the next one, and then the song goes again. It's a never-ending merry-go-round. As a man, I always ask to the ladies, when does it end? When does it end from jumping from one to the other? Please explain. And I guarantee you, fellas, they will not be honest. They'll tell you, say, never. They're going to jump on the next one and go. That's what it is. But anyway, let me chill. Let me see what else right in the comment section. She's the one who said no to make it worse. She just wants that pay, baby. And she's getting some money off of this, Juju. But really, let's be honest. Let's be honest. Child support now, it doesn't hold much weight has it ever been in the last 30 years or 20 years. Reason why that is because the states are now going to have to make people make decisions on the actions. And they come to the decision because they are making in the billions, roughly almost 60 billion they make off of child support alone yearly in America. Almost $60 billion business. They already conclude that they're going to get their money regardless. So what they're going to do now, they're going to start pamp down and make a slight percentage. Either man pays it or he goes to jail. And most likely because she's getting a small portion of PJ's check, it's not going to get any bigger. Now, a lot of people say she can go and get more child support. That depends on the state where her and PJ were. And they were in North Carolina, I think, last time I checked. But nonetheless, to have this baby and be a single mother by choice, you got to be a broken chick, personally. Ladies make the decisions and have to be comfortable with the decisions to make every day. So keep that in mind. I'm convinced Pearly Fangs gets her dress wearing Tyler Perry buys Medea clothes. You might have something there on positive vibes because I know when Perry wears these little, I guess, grandma dress, doesn't really suit her personally. But she is, the caucus of women, Caucasian women, white as snow. So I can't expect much. Now, some people say that Pearly will have a better shot being married before any of these chicks on here, which personally I would have to agree because she knows who she is, she knows where she stands, and she knows what men she qualifies. So the person that made that statement, I would have to agree with that. Let's keep going. I don't judge anyone, but it's the way you do it. She was coming off like she had no chill threesomes and a new man the following week. Hey, listen, she gets it in how she gets it in, Juju. She is one of them succubus. Now, y'all know personally, it's that type of lady that knows say, man, you must be very cautious with the succubus. She will suck the hell out you, suck every essence, and then eventually you will bust. And you will bust so hard, she will drain you dry. Be cautious, dudes. Be cautious, men. Be very, very, very cautious. Fair use and effect.
or not, but I can't have a baby without semen. You know? So yeah, I didn't feel like I feel like Pearl's inner like her style too, like I've told her, before I actually like really like the past few days did like a deep dive watching all of you guys like really getting into it. Like I felt like there was this unlikable quality to her because she was not gonna say her personal experience, but she's gonna ask a question that you're like, girl, you're a woman. Why are you trying to go against us? But like, I feel like it still poses for good conversation. And when I watched her wife's school, when I really like was talking to her outside of it, I'm like, I could see her personality. So I feel like.
Before we continue, positive vibes or Juju, anyone you ladies in the chat room, is there any way y'all could send me any links to this wife school that these people talking about? She really does a wife school that she teaching women that is 20-ish, 30-ish, 40-ish, how to become wife. Can y'all ladies give me some videos or links to these videos? This is what I'm gonna do. Shit. Positive. Hey, what's good, Deidre? Positive vibe. Do you got my email? I need somebody to send me links to this because I gotta see what she teaching in this wife school. You're 26 years old. You don't know about being wife. You're not married. The fuck? Yeah, y'all gotta show some receipts on this because I'm hearing this flowing around the internet. I need validation for this. Let's continue. Fair use and effect.
Understanding her personality, and then when it comes time in here to interview, you're gonna get a little bit of a different person.
Because you did a research, you knew her.
But it's also your responsibility to do your due diligence too.
For 2 seconds, let me tell you, Esther.
But again, 30 minutes. It doesn't take long to research
we
me.
We are on the same boat.
We came in.
No.
The last thing on my mind is
Esther, you need to relax. No, because you've talked a lot. Let me stop you for 2 seconds because this is the truth. What I don't like and what I will not stand for is somebody that actually had the exact same experience as me be upset because you could not handle it with the substance of the woman that you are. Pearl and anybody on this podcast, what they did to you that night is they won. You lost every time. No,
winning.
It is. Wait.
We are.
I beg. No. You're cutting me off, and this is the problem that they had with you then, because you're not willing to listen to where you went wrong. You went wrong because you were not strong enough in your opinion. I've come here. I've got way more hate than you. Way more hate than you. All the super chats, every single comment on there is about the Nalva how she's delusional. She'll end up on her own. I'm older than you, so on top of that, I'm even more of a target. I'm single too. So I've had that sort of attitude. In fact, on that same day that I came, Sarah came for me. A man came for me and he told me a lot of things. And I held my own. Why? Because as a woman, I stand on my own 2 feet. I believe my truth. And ain't no thing that nobody can tell me, 1 or 2 that can make me change my mind because I know who I am. If you're coming on the internet and you're going to put your voice out there, be sure that you know who you are because people will come to you. And if you doubt yourself, that's where it goes wrong. Your problem was that you were weak to come here. No, it was.
It's about I'm not here to argue. It was a podcast. I thought we were all just talking about our opinions. I didn't know it was going to be.
But what if someone doesn't agree with your opinion?
Exactly, that's fine. Right. You're not agreeing with me. It's okay. But it's when you're saying my faith is weak.
Okay, so hold on. I wanna go to that. Hold on. I wanna go to that.
She was there.
Because if you look at it, because I was sitting there and you were talking, if you look at it, and you listen to what you're saying and how you say you believe this way, you went one place and you changed your whole belief system. It's like, how can you be this and then go somewhere, instantly change it? Because of you saying that, sitting in this seat right here, it gave other people a perspective that you weren't strong enough in your faith to go to another place to where it was a different environment, different religion, different everything to be able to stay strong in that as soon as you got there, or not as soon as you got there, but when you got there, it changed, it flipped. So from the words that came out of your mouth, it gave other people a perspective, and that's what they were saying to you. It wasn't that they were saying
we're on a podcast with lots of people talking. You guys didn't even let me finish. You didn't let me.
No, we did let you. We did let you finish. Yes, we did. We did let you finish because you.
That's how it started. Where I started to. It wasn't because I went to China. It was because I just started reflecting on life. So I'm not saying I literally just went to China and my faith just changed.
But that's what you said.
No, I didn't. But you guys, that's what I mean.
All right. Before I continue, let me read for Juju leave the building. Juju, if you do find anything of nature, if she does have a wife school or anyone you ladies in chat room, please leave a comment during the end of this video, please. I'll probably have to put my email. I gotta see this firsthand, because if this was really going on now, and this woman's teaching how to be a wife, we are screwed as society. I'm just keeping it real with y'all. Use people that are married, like married. And mind you, D-Darrell's in the building. D-Darrell, if you're still there, you're not teaching how to get married and how to sustain marriage on your channel, correct, D-Darrell? I'm not sure where these other people are coming from now, teaching people how to be a wife. And you've been married, bro, for over 18 years now. This is new to me, man. But let me read these comments, because Juju's about to leave anyway. Okay. And I know Juju was laughing earlier. That was too much info to let the world know. Most men want their partner's sexual life private. You think, but like some women today, pause vibe, they like to kiss, and they will tell. And so no, D-Darrell's not in the building, so I see you. Man. Right. She has a wife school, yeah. Who is a wife in the panel? Oh, you know, I'm not sure, D-Darrell. I'm not sure, bro. She can't. Right. Oh, we read that already. Every podcast with a dark-skinned woman, I notice for some reason they come off as the aggressor. I've noticed that too, Juju. I think they want to paint the narrative of the angry black woman. In my opinion, that's why you see the aggressor. All right, let me wait. Hold on. Okay, my internet's getting unstable for some reason. No, we good. We good. Let's keep going. Teach. DRB prayers time. If I missed the rest, okay. All right, and we got Miss Eric Bride here. Okay. All right, so let's keep going, guys. Fair use and effect.
But even if okay, let's say it. How okay. Even if it happened over
something else. But
even this, what you're doing right now is emotional response to something. They can just say, do you know what? I did get emotional, but I fucked up. Fuck you, the haters. I'm a G. I'll still stick by what I stand. My faith is not weak. I went to China. I just saw different perspective, and I reanalyzed. Bam! Situation finito.
I'm sorry, Juju. You know what I'm gonna do? Screw it. You will be my moderator. There you go. You're now moderate on this channel. Positive. I was not gonna make you very soon. I was gonna eventually, but since you want to put some links, you may do so now. So if you're trying to put some links, you can go ahead now, Juju. I mean, I'm sorry. Positive vibes. Oh, I get mixed up. It's one of the days, guys. All right, let's continue. Fair use and effect.
Really benefit from it. Do you know what I mean? To me, it's not really something I want to talk about.
But you don't benefit from reacting like this and putting something out there.
It's like if you don't talk about it, you went on another podcast and talked about it.
I spoke about it because when we went on Eddie's show, do you know Eddie orchestrated the whole thing, right? So we went on the show. We were meant to talk about I can't even remember, women and relationships.
He said Soraya wanted to talk about it. Was that not true?
No, that's a lie. So Soraya was talking about her experience, and then Eddie was like, "This is good content. Let's let's film. And he just started filming. So obviously,
you have the power to say, don't film anymore.
What is your experience? Obviously, I'll say it with my chest.
You don't have
I didn't feel like you were rude, and I said it on the show, but that's just is what it is. I'm ready to move on from it because it is just what it is. I don't agree with that way of conducting. I don't care about thick skin. We don't need to be thick skin. I'm sorry.
You do have
I'm sorry. We need to have censorship because unless people know what they're going into, we need to have
my sister. If we had censorship, then who's the one that's going to control that? Because if we have censorship, according to Pearl's followers, I should be shut down immediately.
But what I'm trying to say is not everyone is you.
And exactly.
But they're not going to shut you down, sweetie. Oh, no. Earlier in this broadcast, I said this and I will say this again. Why would I want to shut down someone when they're doing what creates and brings more chaos to people? It brings more distraction. It creates more havoc. That does not suit me well, to shut down conversations or any ill-thought behavior, rather physically or other means, on live airwaves, on live internet. It doesn't make sense. I'm going to promote this. I'm going to flood your timeline with this. Why? Should be questioning every person that has a branch as why would they want to classify and censor nonsense? You see this black woman here on the left. I'm not sure her name is. She looks like she's a cool person. But if you feel in your heart that there should be regulation or censorship, the only thing they're going to be censoring is how you're going to affect the system. Anything less of that nature, they don't give a crap about. God damn it. Listen, I'm not sure how they do it up in UK. Here in America, let's just say people could be and have and create an identity of their hearts. They could be a cat one day. Hell, they could be the opposite sex. That's what we have here in America. I'm not sure what goes on in UK, but in America, you could sure be at anything you want, including something that you're not biology. It is what it is. But let's continue. Fair use in effect.
Then the whole point is don't come. The whole point. No, I'll tell you something. The whole point. No, stop. The whole point is if you ain't like me, don't go and talk like you're like me. Don't go sit against somebody like Paul.
No one's trying to be you.
I beg. No,
one's trying to be you.
Even what you're doing now is rude. That's why you.
This
is why you're put on, and I'm not gonna move on. I will finish my thought. I will tell you because you are the problem with modern women, and I'll tell you why. I am not, because I stand here and people come for me, and as the strong woman, I bet you're cutting me off. You're cutting me off the same way. You're cutting. No, I don't care.
Move the fuck on.
I can feel the energy, the cat fight. Like she want to put her paws, her fangs on her. She's trying to move on, but the woman that's telling and holding you accountable. And I don't like this personally because it's making a bad look for the sister, personally, in my opinion. Now, I'm not sure this woman is older than the two of them on the left and right corner, but it looks like she's one that's more traditional from what I'm hearing from her mouth. That's not a good look, bro. This is not a good look at all. Oh, I see GT wrote Brittney's looking at Pearly like, control your show. Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
First of all, you're younger than me. You're rude.
So,
second of all,
talking about.
Oh, you're younger than, and then she might be the youngest on the podcast. Imagine that.
This is the reason why you got into the trouble that you got into. Because you're disrespectful,
It's not trouble.
you're rude, and you don't know how to look back.
How many times have I said
I don't care about. I don't care because I don't want to, and I am very much entitled to finish my
keep
thought.
talking.
Thank you. If you don't interrupt me, then I'll tell you very, very well done to you. Because I'll tell you something. When you come on the internet, wherever you go, you think you got a voice, you stand by it. You don't take it back and get upset because somebody didn't agree with you. I've had way more hate than you. I've had a lot more rejection and a lot more reactions against me than you have had. And I stood here, and the reason why it didn't stick to me is because I am not weak. I stand in my thoughts, I stand in my beliefs, I stand in my truth. If you are not a woman that can speak in her truth, do not put yourself against people that will go against you. It's that simple.
So many times.
No. You're full of excuses.
I don't want that
then
clout.
You should have got up.
You want that clout. I don't. Like,
Okay. Guys.
Stop. I feel sorry for the sister. She has to know when to just, all right, let it go. To stop while you're ahead. It's not a good look. You already see that the internet already pays and shares notion of this so-called angry black woman. God help her, man. I don't know. Very recent effect.
Okay, let's.
Okay.
And why didn't you?
Okay.
You should have
got up.
I don't get
why you're so hyped about it. Like, what the
Because
fuck?
you're talking shit now.
You're talking shit.
No, because you swore at me.
It's not about you. You can make it
Esther,
about I can handle it.
It's about it's about the fact everybody cares about how
some people want to handle it, some people don't. I don't want to come here to receive aid.
You are the exact example.
Stop making it about yourself.
It's not about me. It's about the fact.
You're making it about yourself.
Bro, you went against somebody like Pearl, and this is about Pearl. I won't even make it about myself.
Let's dick right now.
Pearl came for me the same way. In fact, I argue with Pearl way more than you do. I've been on this show way more times than you have. I faced Auntie Jenny way more times than you have.
Why is it about you?
Wait.
Oh my God.
Shut up and listen.
You're so obsessed with
yourself.
No, she's giving what she is. She's giving an example. She's saying that she's been in your. But listen.
I beg. I'm not doing this for clout.
No, but she's not saying that she's doing it for clout. She's giving an example that she's been in your shoes, but she's handled it a different way. She's taken it.
Well done
no,
to her.
but it's not about saying
why are we still going back?
I beg, because you've not let me finish. You've not let me finish because you say you want to move on. If you want to move on, let me finish speaking because I'm more stubborn than you, and I'll not stop until I finish my point. And my point simply is, if you are not willing to take shit, don't go and talk. If you're not willing to stand your ground as a woman, don't go out there and be going for a fight. If you're not ready to fight, you exit the situation straight away. If you want to stay and fight, you stand tall and you fight. I'm not afraid to sit here and argue with Pearl or Auntie You're still cutting me off.
Listen.
You had a conversation that didn't go your way. You didn't like what you heard, and now you're labeling Pearl to be misogynistic, racist, and this and that. When I've had the same experience on the podcast you did, I've had the same experience. I've had bigger head-to-heads with both people that you're referring to, and I don't feel the same way because I understand it's not personal. It's not about race. It's about who are you? What do you stand for? How much do you respect yourself and what you think and what you believe? And clearly, but how you have acted, and even how you're acting right now, it's not very high.
I just think you're dick riding.
I don't need to dick ride.
Because I told you.
God damn, are you serious? Are you, bro? Oh. God help us. No, this chick did not say dick riding. Oh my God. You see, my thing is this. And I have to say this, black people. Why the fuck are you in these panels? First of all, we not even run these panels. You put yourself on these panels that's not run by us, some podcasts, and you're embarrassing yourself now. I'm sitting there saying this woman's trying to straighten you out, and you fight her even to the point you make it such hard that you're trying to screw. You tell her that she's dick riding. JT, you see this, bro? I don't know anybody's still watching this. It's hard to do a reaction to this because this is not funny now. I mean, this is not pitiful now. Just by just doing this content on this. And mind y'all, this is the first time I'm actually watching it live with y'all. I've not seen this till now. And personally, if this is how she does her podcast, and these are the sort of black people, even black women that put themselves in these predicaments in these podcasts, make themselves look like a fool, I can't save her. Hell, Jesus can't save her. I don't know. Let's keep going. I mean, fairies in effect.
How I feel. And I don't care about how you feel. I do not care about how you feel.
But you expose yourself.
How come you can express how you feel, but she can't express
and
how
you don't care about how I feel?
Okay, because at the end of the day, you asked about my experience, right? If we're gonna talk about denial,
I didn't ask about your experience.
Don't bring it about your experience about my experience.
Okay,
no,
fine. My experience. Let's make it now and forget about Esther. Let me tell you, a powerful, strong woman that respects herself and holds her truth will sit here and have people shouting in her ear, telling her that she was not abused for 5 years because she didn't report it to the police. And guess what she does? She sits there with composure and says, you say what you got to say. I know my truth. And by the way, my sisters, if you need help, I'm here for you. It's that simple. I don't care about what these people have to say, because in my opinion, they talk shit because their truth is not my truth. Simple. Nothing more, nothing less. And instead, you choose to sit here, shout and be rude, and to the point where you to the point that you're swearing at me.
You swear at me too.
No, I didn't.
Yes, you did.
I didn't.
You're like, oh, that shit. You're talking shit.
No. I did that. Actually, there was some time. I did answer. Wait, stop. Because you're fighting against the person that stands on your side.
Shouting at me.
Listen, be quiet for 2 seconds. You're still shouting.
Am I a Mugu?
No,
so you be shouting at me.
Now you moo because I didn't speak to you. You know they listen.
Raise your voice at me. I'm going to raise my voice back.
Esther, no. You are the problem with the other women.
Problem.
It's so embarrassing to see here and hear you speak to a woman like me in the way that you have spoken to me. It's embarrassing. People are sitting here trying to give you pointers so that you can survive better. I beg. Shut up for 2 seconds.
All right.
Why are you doing?
Let me pause. I say Juju back and be like, let me see what you say, Juju. They got on these white platforms and do it to themselves. Shake my yes, they do, Juju, and it's just shameful, man. I just don't know, Juju, or any other ladies, to really say on this personally. Now, mind you, Pearl is a young woman, and overall, from what I'm noticing, this is the oldest woman in the crowd, in the middle. So if I had to take the nice, lovely lady on the left-hand side from the UK, the one on the left, as you can tell, she could be possibly the same age as Pearl, roughly. And I'm just guessing. I could be wrong. But Jesus, and let's be honest. It doesn't matter if you in America or anywhere, even in UK, the women do give the same fuckery like everything else. And I don't want to say that, but and I have to agree with Jessica with this. Whatever happens in UK, same thing goes wrong in America. The only difference is they use knives. We use all weapons, guns, knives, etc. It is what it is. Next comment. Pearl wouldn't be exploiting my black ass. She enjoys this. Yes, and you're right. And this is the biggest underline that black people don't understand. Men, and especially you ladies. You go on these platforms that's run either by a non-black man or a non-black woman. Keep in mind that you will be exploited in these platforms. It's a given fact. And I would have to say personally, exploitation is the law and order of many things. If they're not exploiting you, they're doing some other mischievous things to get at you. Ooh. Let's keep going. Immature women on the panel. Yes, very immature. Pearl looks 30, so who knows how old the black one is? Yeah, and you know, we all know, Juju, with non-black women, mostly women that are Caucasian, maybe Asian, Hispanic, etc. They're gonna look a little older, depending on how much of the melanin type they got. Because you know, the darker you are, the better you don't age. The better you age slower. The more melanin content you have. But as you get lighter in the spectrum, aging accelerates very fast. You've seen the people that are not us, that might be our age or younger or whatever. A woman that, like, let's say Pearl, she's in her mid-20s. She looks like she's now pushing mid to late 30s. It is what it is. It's not no shame, but that's what it is. Next comment. Laughing out. You being generous with 30, Juju. Yes, she is being very generous. Darrell, I want to go higher. Juju, be free to go as high as you want. I say she look more like she's in her late 30s at best. That's just me. I mean, if you want to keep it reasonable and non-confrontational to people that when you say that she looks like she's older, you're free to do so, Juju. Anyway, let's keep going. Fair use and effect.
So much for
Listen,
clout, man.
be quiet.
You're proper
Be
clout
quiet.
chasing,
Be quiet,
boy.
Esther. Be quiet because you need to learn from people that are doing
so
better
much
than
clout
you.
chasing.
Actually, it's not about cloud chasing.
Yes,
it's about putting you in your place.
Yes, you are.
Esther, stop for 2 seconds because if you
Can
don't,
we please move on?
No, we can't.
Can we move
Until
on?
I finish my point.
I don't want to.
I'll let her.
Walk out
Just
then.
move on.
Walk out. Because
Now,
this-
bro, you're doing too
walk
much.
out. If you walk out, I won't wait.
Too
Walk
much.
out.
Nah,
Who's stronger?
nah.
Pearl,
Oh,
please.
this
Who's
is not
stronger?
Jerry.
Oh,
That's
let her.
just-
Okay.
Someone in the
That's a big insult. That's a big insult for people calling this Jerry. Oh no, I don't fucking know. This is beyond Jerry. Oh no, I don't accept that crap. Let's continue. Fair use and effect.
Esther, Denalva, guys.
All right.
Okay, Esther, Denalva, I'll give you 30 more seconds. Can you finish your point in 30 seconds?
Okay.
And then I'll give you 30 seconds to respond, and then we'll be done.
Perfect.
Okay?
My point simply is, ladies, if you're going to open your mouth, be ready for the consequences that will come after your words. If you're going somewhere and people are coming for you and you cannot handle that and you can feel upset, it's because you are not comfortable with who you are. Don't blame it on other people. It's really that simple. Don't come here, call Pearl names if you are not the G that can actually sit there and debate intellectually without any issues. That's that simple. Emotional response is weakness. There you go. It's an intellectual debate.
Okay, Esther, you have 30 seconds.
What I have to say is, when I was invited on the show, I didn't know I was coming on Pearl's
Her name's
show.
Esther. Interesting.
Eddie invited me onto a YouTube show. I take accountability because I should have asked and made sure I clarified which show I was going on. I didn't know. I've never seen this type of show before. I would have not opted in. I don't like aggressive going back insulting each other. I'm a presenter, you know. It's not good for my brand. I don't do that type of stuff. Mm-hmm. So it's like
But what is your brand, Miss Esther? The question I should be asking in person. What is your brand? Is your brand to be engaged in housewives of so-and-so of Britain? Is it your brand is IG modeling? Is your brand particularly, you know, moving around, dancing, and being loud and aggressive? I'm very confused. What is your brand, Miss Esther? You're not a singer. I mean, you keep yourself looking good. You're not fat. So that's an A+. I'm very curious. What is your brand, particularly? Because how you conduct on other podcasts, I would conclude you conduct yourself outside the world. I mean, this is fair judgment, personally. But anyway, I'm gonna get to our comments in a second, but let's keep going with this tape. Fair use and effect, and please hit the like button.
When I came here, I was just like, wait, we're going against trans people. Like,
Time's up.
That was too much for me.
Time's up. Okay.
That's all it is.
Okay.
Just
Okay.
Time's up.
Okay.
Time's up. Your time's up, Denalva.
Just saying.
Okay, let's talk about something else. What was the other thing we were talking about? Oh, we were talking about body. Oh, go ahead, Brittney.
Oh no,
Go ahead. You've been
I was
waiting.
just thinking
Go ahead.
because
I'll give you 2 minutes.
I'm good. I feel like it would just be probably for the viewers and everybody out there. I feel like it would be interesting to hear everyone's perspective on how they feel about the 100th episode and sitting with Andrew Tate and like really kind of seeing how his energy is in person. Because a lot of people are most likely never going to meet him.
Yeah.
So I feel like we all got a chance to kind of.
Yeah, that's a good idea, Brittney.
I don't know.
So Brittney, why don't you start? What did you think?
Miss Brittney.
I felt like he was really polite in person. I didn't expect him to be, like you said, so smiley, very warm. And I will say that I do feel like he is very pretty grounded. He is fair. There were just things, obviously, I just don't agree with about the being agreeable to the point of where it's not your own identity. But I also understood where he was coming from. I understood the perspective. I don't agree. But no, I felt like he was like so different in person. And I feel like that's why you can't really judge people based on that. He was just different. I don't know. Am I tripping? Did you guys feel that way?
No.
Go, Denava, why don't you? 45 seconds.
Let me get to your comments before I continue this. Where am I? Renner likes who's chilling the ghetto. Yeah. She should have gave the 30 seconds 20 minutes ago. Yeah, you're right about that, JT Coins. Yeah, JT's right. All right, let's keep going. Furious in effect.
I liked him a lot. I remember when he got cancelled, I said, the only problem with this guy is the fact that he's exposing certain truths and not providing a solution to those who are suffering from it. That's it. Other than that, listen, yeah, he's better looking in person. Yes. Yes, I try to hate on him. He's better looking in person. He's smiley. He's friendly. He's got high energy. He's a good Sagittarius. Sunshine in human form. He's actually quite cool. I liked him.
He is.
Yeah, I feel like he was a straight talker. And you know what? I really rate the way he speaks. He really knows how to speak. Like, it will add context and then he'll make his point. I think it takes a lot of talent to do that. And you can tell he's been doing it for a long time. So I have to respect that in him. Obviously, I didn't agree completely with a lot of stuff you were saying because I feel like he was a bit one-sided where he was talking about what men wants and he wasn't really talking about how to make women happy. But I appreciated that he was also giving us a perspective of a lot of men out there. Yeah. So I did appreciate that. But I just wish we could like explore more about what women want, really.
But I just think that society was.
Well, if Andrew Tate doesn't express what women want, then ladies, it gives you your confirmation what Andrew Tate views of you. You don't have no opinion with him. He doesn't care about what you want. Only he wants self gratification. What he wants. End of story. You don't need to go no more deep into it. That's nonsense. If he was interested in what women want, you think his ass would get canceled off the fucking internet? Get canceled off Twitter? Get canceled off Facebook? Get canceled off IG? Get canceled off IG? Get canceled off IG? And also, get canceled on certain parts of YouTube. Have you noticed that Pearl, and I could be wrong because I'm not really subscribing to her channel, but have you noticed that Pearl never really, if she does have it on her channel, please let me know and I'll look at it. Has she ever had Andrew Tate on her platform where it's aired and posted public on YouTube? Does anybody know? Does she have that content? If so, please let me know in the comment section or chat room, whatever. I gotta see this to believe it. Anyway, let me see more comments. The shade, yep. These women's petty, yep, very petty. Look at the middle women face expression. Oh yeah, you gotta see her expression. She's not happy at all. You piss off, she's gonna let you know. Fair use in effect.
always talking about what women want. Is that the timer? I just feel like society's always talking about what women want. And whenever we talk about what men want, like we always need to have a response. And it's like, why can't we just let the men talk for a second? Because like there's Steve Harvey like talks about what women want all the time. There's a million different shows. As for Andrew Tate, I was actually so nervous. I don't know why. Like I was.
Yo, ciao.
What?
I was too.
I was
this whole day.
I was. I think I was. I kind of think I was a little quieter because I was like, I'm just like nervous. I don't know why, but he was so nice. It was really nice. If a lot of people don't know, we were supposed to go to all of us were supposed to go to Dubai. My passport expires within 6 months, so we couldn't actually like get in. I couldn't get in the country. So he actually came to us, which I thought was really like kind of him to come, like fly all the way here. But yeah, he was really nice. I was really nervous, but overall, I already liked him before. I didn't like him the first time I saw him. If you see my very first reaction to him, I was actually mean because he had a cheating party. And I was like, what is this cheating party? And it was like he would invite all his girlfriends over at the same time. Where like all the girls that you would cheat with and like they would just go to the same bar. And it was kind of funny, but I was like, what? Why would you do that? But I didn't understand what. But now that I understand his worldview a little bit more, I was like, oh, well, that's why.
Yeah. He was very.
Well, he's letting you know and flexing the alpha side of him to all the lovely ladies that he had a lot of sexual entanglements with. You know? So he lets it know and present to say, here you go, my beautiful darling ladies. All that I have gave the dick, and I dick y'all down. I brought you here in front of me to celebrate what I have accomplished and what I've done. And I know saying that you were my biggest what's the word? You are my biggest hunt, which I've conquered. I dominate you in the bedroom, and here is the fruit of my labor. I have a nice room especially for you, where I present all y'all. That said, I had sex with you, I banged you, I screw you, I screw you, I screw you, I screw you, and all y'all could have the conversation amongst each other and cuss me out and tell how a worthless piece of shit I am. That is some real raw, rugged stuff right there, ladies. That dude did not give a crap. I don't know which other man could pull off something like he did. But when you got money and you have status, you get away with a lot of stuff, personally, in my opinion. You get away with a lot of stuff, personally. Anyway. All right. Take care, JT Coins. And Juju writes, this is why I don't trust a pick-me who has never been chosen. This is money for her. How you praise one behavior but condone another. You're right. You're right. Indeed, Juju. All right, let's continue. Fair use and effect.
Hey, from the stuff he was saying like beforehand, from watching Kevin Samuels with Pearl, it opened up my view on like actually listening to people or listening to what these men are saying instead of just taking a clip and taking for how these people are clipping it and wanting to get their agenda across, but actually like listening to them. And I like sat down and like actually listened to some of the stuff that he said beforehand. And so I was like, what he is saying is not crazy. It's the way he's saying it, and people, people and a lot of women don't like the way that he is saying it because it's very like raw, like this is it, this is how I'm gonna say it. I don't care if you don't like the way I'm saying it, I'm gonna say it this way. And I feel like a lot of people don't like it like that, but it's like
well, the problem, my dear sweetie, he's not Kevin Samuels. See, Kevin Samuels, he has a certain way of carrying himself throughout the internet, especially as an image consultant. He's not gonna sit there and go raw dog on y'all real hard like that if he wanted to, because he has to still carry himself out here in the physical world with class, with a suit that he puts on daily in front of people. while talking to you, the public. Keep that in mind. Andrew Tate has no filter. He says whatever that comes out his mind, and there's consequence to that, because they could look at this dude and look at Kevin and say, I can market Kevin, but I can't market Andrew Tate because he's too reckless with his mouth, and he doesn't feel or bring on the aesthetics of his madness. That's the underlying truth between the two. So we can't compare Andrew to Kevin. And mind you, I did a live stream on this. You could check it out on my channel. Check on the previous live streams. It's there. Let's continue. Fair use and effect.
You get past what he's like, how he's saying it, and listen to actually what he is saying. It's like, oh, okay. It's not as outrageous as people make it out to be.
Facts.
Yeah.
That's why I actually purposely didn't really go and look at his content, because I was like, I want to see who he actually is and what his energy is actually saying, because I understand the same way that people say, oh, you clickbaited, you edited this way to make me look worse, it's the same way that it happens to him. And realistically, he was way more balanced and actually a lot more kind of calming in his presence than what it actually seems online. I'm not gonna lie, he spoke sense. There was a lot of balance in what he said, and you know, I know people were expecting me to clap with him, and I didn't. He was cool. I liked him. It was funny. He had a bit of banter as well with his clementines and stuff. He's
I think the only thing I didn't agree with was like him talking about a man will cheat, like women are delusional. Like, I think that's not a good message.
If they have the opportunity to, they will. If they have like the
okay. I'll give you an example. Even a good man would have a hard time being in Tiger Woods' positions. Having a bus full of models waiting for him that are trying to fuck him every single day. It's like, even a good, like my dad, I'll give you, he's top 1%, doesn't cheat. But my dad.
You sure about that?
Doesn't have social media, and he doesn't have beautiful models waiting for him every day after work. I think that would be hard for even a good man to say no to. Like, even my dad, if he was in a position where beautiful women are trying to do that every single day, that's hard. That's really hard for a guy.
Women get approached as well. In fact, women get approached way more than men.
True. But it's not usually by men you want.
Now you see this dumbass Esther, man. Come on, man. You sound like you could be one of them 3 or 4s, Esther. You're giving off the gist / 3 or 4 behavior or feeling. You see that, Juju? You saw that? You saw that, Juju? Yes. I'm looking at it. Now, I can see why Pearl selectively picked certain people to come on our podcast. This is a bad look for Black women. I'm sorry. I gotta say this. I'm hoping Black women, listen to me. Listen good. Y'all might never find this Chaos Radio channel. I understand this. I'm not favored. I'm not well sought of. I'm not going to get much praise or any of this nature on this YouTube shit. But hear me out. If you do content on this, be warned that this woman is going to be exploiting you. She's very selective of who she has on a podcast. Esther is a clear example of the exploitation. By choice now, people. By choice. She is getting, and she let me, I'm saying, what? Esther! Yo. I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say, Juju. Man, let me keep playing, man. Fair use.
I would also argue that it would be hard for a woman to stay faithful if every day she was approached by high value men.
That's true.
So, like, you've been in that position. It's if every day you're getting messages from like the top men in society, I think that's hard for women to turn down. We're hypergamous.
No, you're not. Because, and here's why. And Juju, I don't know if you could give responses. In life, if you're a man or woman, you don't need many people to entertain you, fulfillment. All you need is possibly one that is doing enough and doing their part the best possible, that should be fulfilling enough. If that's not fulfilling enough, then by all means, you should not be getting married. Matter of fact, you should not be seeking relationships. You should be out there selling your box for a price. You should be out there beyond moving like a sugar baby. You should be out there saying, oh, a man presents and said, hey, sweetie, what you doing tonight? I got some money. You down? Oh, yes. This is my price. Okay. And keep it real. Keep pushing. Be more one in your whoredom. Be more one, baby, with your 3 or 4. Don't be like these stupid chicks out here that's playing games and creating what we call FDAs or NDAs. Don't be these type of women, ladies. Be in your real truth. Tell them, say, Harold, I love you, but I'm going to be jumping on the next cock if the offer is more presentable, you know. And if he doesn't marry me, that's fine. There's always going to be another dude that's going to pull out his wallet and fulfill my every need and desire. Be real. Be for real in this. This is 2022. This is modernization, ladies. Be fair in your whoredom. Stop holding back. Stop lying to these dudes. Don't play games. If a man asks he wants to be around you and wants the kitty, don't deny him. If that is in the end game, you're going to be looking for the higher bidder and throwing out your front. Be real in your truth. Be that bitch. That's what I'm saying. That's all I got to say. Keep it real, man. Damn it. All right. Esther is doing exactly what Renner wants to say. Renner's playing it. And, you know, it is something that Esther is really making it really bad for a lot of sisters out here. I'm just saying. Next comment. My personality, I'm fine with one person, but there is many women behind closed doors, even ones in marriage, complain about their husband's shortcomings. Yeah, and that's their business. I'm not saying they shouldn't get married to the dude, but life is not perfect. I mean, let's be honest. And you're mature now because you're now 30. You are in a place mentally, spiritually. You know, if most of them got to this development like how you are, that you can't always have it all. Shit, I can't have it all. Oh, man. Not saying I don't want it all, but I can't have it all either. And I come to realization in a long time. And a woman of a certain age, like Renner, or let's say that's the same age as you, can't come to the conclusion that I can't have it all. You need some real psychological treatment. You need to go seek some therapy immediately. You need to go see a spiritualist immediately. That's all. Fair use in effect.
Mm-hmm. So it's not really about the quantity of men that approach you, it's the quality.
I think just morally, I think everybody knows that cheating is wrong. You know, like Tate even said it himself. When a woman cheats on a man, the pain that he feels, so they know it's wrong innately, but they think that they have that pass to do it because I'm a man, I'm a high value man. And it's like, do you know that pain that you felt? She feels that.
It's no, I agree with you. I've been.
To be honest with you, and this is why I'm kind of sad that Alraj Curry is no longer with us, but he left us a plethora of work for all his books, his lectures, etc. He always states, he always advocate, and he always preach, and he always bring it home to a lot of men that come across his content. He always tell them, be more one, have the balls to tell a woman what you really think, your real intentions. If you have not come to mature yet as a man, be warned. If you're going to be out here slinging cock to every woman and you have a woman and she's not really down with that, chances are there are going to be consequences, brother, for your promiscuous behavior, letting the woman be upfront honest with the woman. See, one thing with Kevin, while he was still around, he keeps it honest until he said, the higher told the man gets, the more money he makes, the more notoriety, the higher scale of pussy that's going to be flinged to him. And that it is what it is. It's your job to know saying what caliber man you deal with. And can you deal with his growth? Once he knows he gets to the higher he is, the more ascension he is, the more women are going to be flocking and throwing the pussy at him. Are you going to be cool with that? Are you going to be down with that? These are questions you should answer yourself, ladies. Let's continue. Various in effect.
Cheated on. It was really hard. But at the end of the day, it's just not the same. Because like at the end of the day, like I could get past it because I was like, you know what? It was just a random. It wasn't like he wasn't in love with her. But like the way we would feel if a man was in love with someone else, that's how men feel about us cheating on them sexually. Like there's just
do you think it's because there's just like how do I want to say this? Do you think it's because men are weaker in that department to where it's like, oh, I can't believe you had sex with guys before you even met me because that's my pussy. You know what I mean? Like I almost feel like it's because there's such a gap in where women really are and where men are emotionally and mentally.
I just think it's like men and we can't undo biology. Yeah. Right. So like we can't undo the thousands of years of biology. And how did you pass on your genes to the next generation? For women, it was getting the best man that they possibly could, the strongest, tallest, biggest, highest status, because then your kid would survive. That meant he could protect you. He could pass on resources to you and your kid would be strong and would be able to protect itself. For like vice versa, for men, it was, I don't want to pass on resources to a kid that's not mine. So it was, I can't have a promiscuous woman because the kid might not be mine. My genes might not even my genes might not get passed down. So even though like we're in 2022 and we have like different things that offset this stuff, you can't undo our biology.
But I also think it's accountability. I think like Brittney was.
As you know, the question that was asked earlier, that was Brittney asking that question. Because as you know, Brittney does not agree that, you know, the man should not be exploring his options. Matter of fact, in reverse, she was hoping to think that women, because they have the higher chance, that they should be exploring their options. You know, having a man, actual man that's, you know, their man, but have other dudes on the side. And let's be honest, ladies, it's easy for you to get dick. We're not going to go into more detail than that. That's when a man know that you're able to give it away freely. It diminishes your value. Because now any man can hit it, you know. And a man will conquer you, ladies, if he gets you in the bedroom. Right? If the sex could be good or bad nowadays, but who's keeping track? Various in effect.
Saying, Tate, you're literally like the male version of me, and you're praised, and I'm shamed. I think it's because we are not holding these men accountable. Like you would say, you basically called Brittney a hoe before you met her. That is so unfair. And I think if we started to say, no, Brittney, not just Brittney in that situation, not calling you a hoe or anything, not in that situation, say Tate's a hoe, Brittney's a hoe, actually hold each other accountable.
But it's
not
just the women. And it's just but here's the thing, like on the other side, when you were when was the first time you got messaged by someone with a blue check mark? Or like any attention?
Probably when I was like 2021.
Okay, 2021. She got the world at her fingertips. Like just by being beautiful, right? She can get messaged.
That was 9 years ago, mind you.
From like the top men in society. It's not the same for men. When a man's 2021, no woman's checking for him. Maybe a very select few, but even if they're very good looking, like they're not getting shit from rich girls.
No, but what I'm saying is the men that are getting those women, like
oh, which one are you talking about getting those women? You see the delusion? Hold on, I gotta mute myself 1 second, guys. I'm back. Let me read the comments before I continue. This is good. This is good. I ain't gonna lie. This is good. Let me see. Exactly. It makes sense. If people in the hood that ain't making much can cheat every day, I'm sure a rich man doing the same plus more. Yes. Pearl did a lot of studying, same old talking points here. Well, you got to understand, And I'm gonna tell you a little secret, Juju. You might have heard this already. The manosphere don't mind Pearl pushing the message. They don't mind she's using the talking points from a lot of people from the Spear. And the reason why is because Pearl is safe. Let me repeat that again. The reason why they're not really discouraged or getting mad at Pearl pushing their same talking points is simple. She's safe. Now, they said, Chaos, what do you mean she's safe? Because she's a woman. She's pushing the same narrative that these dudes be pushing in it. As, a man talking about, what he wants, real in-depth about the lacking or shortcomings of modern women, he will get one or two things: canceled, or he will get his whole platform deplatformed, and other disgusting things will happen to him. But if a woman says it, how are you gonna fight that? That's their logic, why they don't fight Pearl the way Pearl's pushing their message, because she's safe. If you're a man pushing the same narrative on the internet, you're not safe. It is what it is. Let's continue. Fair use in effect.
Actually saying that it's not, because it's not right. At the end of the day, cheating is wrong. Men or women, biology or not, it's wrong. And I think if we actually start to say, you know what, this man has got 3 baby mamas, you're fucking ridiculous. You're playing with STDs.
And here's the but the thing is, it's such a who's at fault when most 80% of women, 90% of women are sexually active, but only roughly 5 to 10% of guys can do what you're saying. So it's the women are more promiscuous than the men. It's like the problem you're talking about is so minuscule. It's so small. Like maybe 20% of men can.
I wouldn't say women are more promiscuous.
No, I'm saying men cheat still. Why do you keep cutting it off, though?
Women have more sexual partners now.
What are you doing?
I'm coming for you today. Now I'm your Auntie Jenny. Trust me. You swore at me. Disrespect.
You're doing way too much.
I do not accept disrespect.
Why are you doing
this? This is why men will cheat, because somebody's talking to you and you're still cutting them off for no reason.
Pearl, please continue.
So it doesn't even need to be high value.
I think Esther one time fucked me and her boyfriend one time. I could see in her eyes. One time she had some extra on the side. Stop it, Esther. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. You up here, you have your boo in the bed, but you have the man that's inboxing you for your social media, your Twitter, your IG message, in your face messenger. Hit and say, babe, what's up? You up there texting quietly, secretly. Say, what's up, daddy? I'm coming. Don't lie. Stop it. Stop it. You fuck on him just as much as he'll try to attempt to fuck on you. Yeah. All right. Fair use in effect.
But do you know what I'm saying? So I'm saying, like, okay, they're predicting that 45% of women will be single and childless. That's so much so that the big banks are predicting this. These women that are going to be single and childless and are on the path to that, it's not like they're not sexually active. They're probably sleeping with someone. There's not a plethora of virgins around that are women, but there is 1 in 3 men under 30 are virgins. So who's more promiscuous?
Yeah, that's the environment that's the cause of this, unfortunately. Especially in America, yeah. That number probably gone a little higher. Yeah. So we could probably look and dive more into that rabbit hole, but that'd be for another day.
If the women aren't virgins, the body counts are getting higher. And where on the other hand, men, it's a very small percentage that can actually get sex and father a bunch of kids. So that's why I say, like, I know Tate tries to, he's like, don't make it a he said, she said. But in large, it's more on the women because, one, we're in control of sex. We pick who we sleep with, and we're more sexually active than them.
In a sense, I agree, because on average, yes, you're right. Women are having sex a lot more. However, when we're talking about promiscuity, men have 3 times more sexual partners than women.
You can't make this shit up. Oh God! Oh, the insanity of it all, man. I feel like dropping this link. Shit. Should I drop the link? I might. In the next, probably over the hour, I might drop the fucking link in this. I'm thinking of it. Yeah, I'm gonna do it. Yeah, fuck it. I'm sitting laughing. You serious? Esther. I'm not sure what the percentage of virgins in the UK, personally. But if you're gonna believe that notion, you're very delusional. Let me keep playing because I'm just gonna rant. And I don't want to do no ranting right now. Fairness and effect.
So when men have, I think it's like 24, and
where did
a woman
you see
is like
that?
10.
The last I checked
Google it right
like,
now.
yeah.
I made sure because I done my research before coming back. I was like, okay, I need to know.
So if that's true, again, it goes back to the Pareto principle, right? So let's say the average number is higher for men.
No, we don't use Pareto principle on sex. Please disregard Pareto. Pearly, if you catch this, please do not use Pareto. Never in your life use Pareto principle. We don't use Pareto over here. No. That's something that deal with at a time and an Italian that created. We live in modern times. You can't follow those same stupid principles. I had to disembark that real fast. ASAP. Anyway, please guys, like the stream, please. Fair use in effect.
Typically, it's because the top 20%, we'll even say 30% of men. Let's give them 30. Like they sleep with 50, 60, 100, 150 girls, but 1 out of 3 are virgins or haven't had sex in the past year. Historically,
exactly. That's why I agree with what you're saying.
But that's why I'm saying, like, by and large, women are sleeping with a very small percentage of men.
But those like small percentage are ruining it for the other men. If they keep sleeping with so many women, they're ruining it for the ones that aren't getting laid. So actually, it's their fault.
You could argue that, but you could also say it's more on the women because we're in control of sex. Most men, like if you went to a biological level, their biology is to sleep with whoever they can, right? Most men, if you get right, but for the men, right, where we have to be more selective and sacred with who we give it to, right? Like we value sex more like emotionally than men do. They'll just, and like most men, you get butt naked in front of them. What they're not doing. And so it's like you're telling that small percentage of men, like, oh, don't do that. Okay, fine. But at the end of the day, I think it's more on women because there's more sexually promiscuous women than there are sexually promiscuous men. And it's men's mating strategy to do that. That's their biology. Where it's not in our biology to be promiscuous, but we're the ones doing it. But we have this like feminism, empowerment. You can do whatever you want and still be fine. Where it's like, I feel like as women, if you should come back and say, you know what, wait for someone that loves you. You know, wait for this, wait for that. That's just my opinion on it. I just think it's more on the women because there's more of us doing it than the men.
Yeah, kind.
And the funny thing about all this, why do you think they created what we call a manosphere in the first place? When men empowerment, men not getting the outcomes most likely. And trust me, in the sphere itself, there is a growing sector of men that's either getting the access to women they want or barely getting a little sex at all. I heard some dudes talking about they got monk mode. Some not even got whiff or taste the pussy yet, so they gonna be monks. So I'm not sure where Esther's getting this notion, idea that these dudes, regular dudes, ugly, maybe big, maybe somewhat attractive, are just getting it like that. I'm trying to understand that logic, personally. I said women are not having, and last time I checked, when we talk about the black community, because that's what Pearly got mostly on her panels anyway, that women are just up in neck in regards to promiscuous behavior and cheating as well. Let's say we're on a range roughly under 30% when it comes to cheating and infidelity. Men are always high by one ratio to point, and women are almost neck, which is like close to almost above the amount of cheating as the men. Yeah, I mean, I get you. Hold on, I see you, S. Jones. And personally, Miss S. Jones, if you ever notice this content that Pearlie's doing, and personally, I'm gonna be honest with you, this is the first time I actually cover her content. Cause I've noticed this was circling throughout the internet, and let's be honest, when you have Brittney Renner in your timeline, you know it's gonna be some shit on here. Me covering this and look at this overall, this is a bad look for any black person, especially a woman, black woman that's on her podcast. If you go through the beginning part of this stream, if you choose to S. Jones, you're gonna be shaking your head, personally. I'm not sure if Pearlie or her staff is selecting these people to be on her podcast so they can make them look more dumb and stupid than they are. But I think it's all, they gotta be getting paid for this, because this is just ridiculous. But this is me. Please, if y'all watching or you're in the stream, please hit the like button. Oh, and if you're new to the channel, don't be hesitant. Hit that subscribe button. Hit the top bell for notifications of live streams and uploads here in the Chaos Reign channel. I don't bite. As you know, roughly almost 2,000 subs, possibly. Will I get it by around this month? I don't know. Only God will it. Y'all come find the content, find it entertaining, and you will subscribe. And there are going to be probably more different various content to come on here. So be patient. Just sit back and enjoy. But anyway, let's continue. Fair use in effect.
I mean, I don't promote promiscuity, but I just think that there's just a double standard where, like, men are just seen as it is what it is. It's just biological. They should like sex more, but women enjoy sex. They do. Like, it's
Would you know what the biggest problem I would say is? Really, 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 and truly, is the fact that all of a sudden, for one reason or the other, everybody wants to talk about who they are having sex with and who they take to bed, to the point that you disclosing your sexual orientation is something that is even important. At the end of the day, listen, you may know that I'm not a virgin because I told you I was in a relationship for 5 years.
You're not?
Whatever I do, but wait.
Shut up.
I know, shocking, right? But whatever
I thought you were saving yourself.
My sister, listen, whatever I do or don't do is not for people. Right? It's not for people to want to discuss. It's not for people, unless I'm going to show you my body, my naked body. I don't need to talk to you about whatever I do in bed with someone else. And I think that's one of the problems that also people are having. They're going to be like, listen, as a woman, you can have sex, fine. What matters mostly, first and foremost, is how you handle yourself, how selective you may be. At the end of the day, they look for purity to a certain extent. But if you're not a virgin, don't worry, my sister, handle yourself well. Don't be there expecting men to accept women to just be sexually open and move in certain ways that are mad and not get the repercussion. That is why when I dress myself, I am a beautiful woman with a good body. I am, and I know, and I don't need anybody else to tell me I got a mirror. But guess what? When I walk around, I dress in a certain way. Why? Because I want to display myself in a way that brings back the attention that I am looking for. So when men approach me, they don't approach me like I'm a hoe. When men approach me, they approach me with respect. Everything comes down to how you choose to portray yourself. A lot of women want to portray themselves as hoes and be like, yeah, I'm that girl, hot girl summer. What do you think that's going to do to you? What is that going to do to your other sisters? Handle yourself with more care. I stand here. Like I said, I want to be a role model to every single woman. Be powerful, be strong, be intellectual, be educated. But don't forget, respect yourself. Don't be saying, I fuck who I want to fuck. No, be selective. That's it.
I agree. Women definitely need to be held accountable, definitely, because I do think, like Tate said, we are the ones creating the problems for each other, because if you're opening your legs to any man, now then they don't even feel the need to get married anymore, because they're like, well, I can just get sex. Like, it's so easy. However, what I'm just trying to say is, we can't just put it on the women, because these men are the ones sleeping with them.
But I'm saying for 50,
yes, baby. The men are sleeping, but they can't sleep unless they take it. And we all know if they take the pussy, it is a form of a criminal act. We all know violation or, rape is a serious crime that you will do time in jail for that. And you will be put as one of them offenders for taking the pussy. It is what it is. But last time, most men are not going to even attempt that and put themselves in that great risk. They're just not going to do it. So, fair use.
50 years we have put it on the men. Okay, there's a lot of little things in society you guys probably don't even notice. And I didn't either before I started like really listening to what men say. Like if you say she got knocked up, it sounds like something that happened to her, not a choice she made. Who knocked her up? He did. We always put the blame on the men. It's very new. This is a new type of content where you put any accountability on women. Watch some early 2000s like Steve Harvey dating it. No, watch some early 2000s Steve Harvey dating advice where these women come up to him and like he just like even the idea of, oh, you intimidate guys. No, there's probably something about you that guys don't like. And that's just being honest. Sweet feminine girls don't intimidate anybody. There's probably something about you guys don't like. And then on top of that, it's like I just think men are never allowed to have standards. Like every time a man has a standard, he's shamed for it. So if they say, "Oh, I like thin women. I like pure women," they say he's slut shaming, body shaming. It's not the same for women.
Can I just go back to your other point about the fact that we always put it on men? So I don't agree with that because, again, I did a lot of research into this. So 90% of single motherhood is a woman. So in a single parent home, it's a woman that is the single parent. How can you say that we're always putting it on men when women want stepping up for their kid?
So I'll tell you, you're right. You're right. 90.
Yes, we know, Esther. These are first world problems, but there's always an answer for every little thing, you know. Now you hear this, ladies, that if the man doesn't really put a ring on, put his last name on it, mostly highly likely you don't want to, to put yourself at risk to get pregnant, especially without guys having this sex. I mean, that's the only surefire bet, But other than that, there's no really sure way. And the funny thing, because then UK, I'm not sure what the laws are of divorce, particularly in UK, but here in America, we have no fault divorce. Now, if anybody from the UK is around, they could probably explain this better. Matter of fact, let me see if I can find somebody. Keep listening, guys. Very recent effect.
% of women are awarded custody. Like I've actually talked to divorce lawyers about this. They say they love representing women in court. It's much easier for women than it is for men. I'm not saying it's easy either way. Like court is tough.
But I'm saying fight for it.
I know someone that went through this where he was trying to get custody of his children, and it's very hard because once if he leaves the home, then she can not let him see his kids for say 6 months. So with this guy, it was she kicked him like they were fighting, whatever. He left. So because she wanted him out of the house, I'm going to clarify, he wanted to be a part of his kids' lives. What happened was because of COVID, his court date kept moving. They kept moving it back. And what happened was she went to court and said he hasn't been around for 8 months. He hasn't been around for a year. And he'd been trying the whole time. And so it's there's a lot of situations where men want custody of their children and they can't get it. And there's even men that kill themselves because she leaves, she takes half of his assets, and he takes the kids and he doesn't have access to their kids. There's a whole, it's this men's rights activists. You probably never heard of them. They talk about these issues where men, there's a guy in Ohio in the US. His girlfriend or whatever had a baby and she gave the kid up for adoption. He wanted the kid. He had no rights to his kid. Stuff like that happens all the time, but nobody.
And I don't agree with that.
And so when you say 90%, my thing is we don't think about why don't they have access to their children.
And also, what would you rather? Let me ask you, because you got a son. Would you rather leave your child with a babysitter that is a woman or a babysitter that is a man?
A babysitter?
Yeah, a babysitter, nanny, whatever. A woman or a man?
I mean, I would probably prefer a woman.
Exactly. Exactly. Because at the end of the day, this, although I understand what you're trying to get at, we can't just put it on women and everything like that. But we also have to understand, we as women, we've got different talents and gifts. Okay. And I think that's kind of what a lot of men are trying to get at is you have a certain talent, which is the power to attract, which means you can get basically any guy that you want if you're easy enough. Okay. So I do understand the rhetoric of saying be more selective because you as a woman have got way more power in your hands to create that interaction than a man would. Fine. Self-control, take your power with responsibility. As a woman, yes, naturally you will stay with your child because you're more nurturing. That's your natural gift. That still doesn't mean that a woman is to be excused for everything. Again, for the sake of argument right here, and also because you put me in this position where I actually want to stand against you, I will say men and women both are equally entitled to complain about what is going on because both are messing up. A lot of women, they are not fit to take care of their children, but because of the bitterness and anger they have towards the relationship that didn't work out, they make their child suffer. They take advantage of the fact that they're a woman and they murk their man. That is not okay.
You know, if you're in the Chaos Rain channel, make sure you subscribe. Hit the top bell. This is the chaos reactions. Unfortunately. She said a lot. That if you're a certain place as a woman, and it brings back to the notion of Frances Cress Wilson about when we should, as people, get married, most likely, to really deal with the responsibility of being parents and actually establish a family. Why waiting later is better, to a degree. I said to a degree. Because this is the scenario we find ourselves today, where you see a lot of women are not ready mentally, spiritually. They have resent for the father, and they take out on their kids, and their children suffer. I've seen this enough times where I'm at, and everybody else that be watching this have experienced somebody that have done this type of bullshit to their own kids. And because you're not in your nurturing nature, because you have either gone through some traumas in your own life, or you just straight up just don't like the opposite sex, that you feel they used to take your aggression not only towards him but the children, is very reflecting of you're not doing the work to heal as a woman properly. But anyway, fair use.
And like women, let's just be honest, like women are spiteful. When they hate a man, they hate, and I'm not saying all women, I'm not saying every person does this, but it's like women will use the kids as a pawn. And what happens is a lot of times, even Kanye, that happened in front of us. His another thing they'll do is they can move states, and the father has no say if they gave the woman's like primary custody. And I'm not saying like I know all the ins and outs of the laws. This is just like from talking to divorce attorneys, and it's like, it's just like men, their issues are not brought to the forefront, and it's really sad that, like, you know, a lot of times a big issue is men committing suicide after divorce. There was a guy. I just learned this the other day, so I'm probably going to butcher it. But our whole most of the domestic violence laws are based off of a system that automatically assumes that the woman's the victim. And in the US. And so it's like a lot of men, like when you talk to people that have actually worked in domestic violence, most domestic violence situations are mutually abusive, where the man and the woman are hitting each other. And the men still get put away and the women don't. A woman can just call the cops, and like a cop will come in and automatically, based on their training, assume that the woman's the victim.
Okay, wait. Again, advocate for women that go through these situations. I don't know what the stats tell you. I don't know what the stats are not telling you, because these things you cannot actually regulate, because a lot of things go unsaid.
It's from can I just to give you perspective, it's from people that work with these couples and that work at women's shelters will tell you this. Well, so much so that they're like, there is the 3 feminists that came up with the system that the justice, and I'm butchering this, but it's like the system that the justice system is built on that automatically assumes the woman's the victim.
Come on, Pearl. You should be like this. You should know these things. You've been following the master for a good long time. You've been taking talking points. You should be writing this down. It should be like second nature. Come on, man. Come on. If you can't remember, that means you're not paying attention. You're not really doing your own investigation, your own research. It's not good. That's good. If you're trying to present something, at least have it down pat in your thoughts so that women know what you're talking about. Come on. It's coming better. Fair use and effect.
They were saying that even in their practice, it wasn't what they saw. That they were saying, you know what, it's actually mutually abusive. But sorry, go ahead.
Well, I was just going to say that when it comes to domestic abuse, I believe that women are inherently more vulnerable to be in that situation, because when a woman does commit, and this is why men get upset that women cheat, because when a woman commits to a man, she gives herself emotionally. When you attach to yourself to somebody emotionally, now you are a victim to all of these things. Whereas men, as Andrew Tate quite rightly said, he's got the decision whether he wants to make you 10 out of 10 happy or 5 out of 10 happy and keep you crying here and there. Because it is true. Once men get a woman to fall in love with them, they've got the power. That's also what men don't understand, and that's how they mess about. And that's why domestic violence, I believe, is so prevalent amongst women being the victims instead of being the perpetrators. Although there are cases that, of course, the women do take the piss and everything.
But I'm saying people that like work in these environments are saying usually it's mutual. So that, like people that work like with the couples that try to help them out, those at women's shelters are saying it's mutual.
Yeah, it becomes mutual, and this is the again, having experienced that myself.
So I'm saying, sorry, I'm just gonna finish. So I'm saying it's like this is a way that men are discriminated against. If a woman's abused, there are women's shelters everywhere. There are no men's shelters. And there's all these little things in society that once you see it, you can't unsee it. Where I genuinely believe that men are the most discriminated against group in society.
In terms of emotionally, I do agree with that, just because I do think there's not really much safe space for a lot of men to talk about how they felt. Like there was a video that went viral of Ruger. He was performing at a show and a woman grabbed his private parts. He was so like upset by it, like he couldn't perform. Like he just dropped the mic and just walked off, and nothing would have happened to that woman. Like to me, that is so unfair that he would probably just think, oh, you know what, that's a show. But he got violated. That's sexual assault. And I think if there's not a space for men to talk about how they feel and actually what they go through as well, because we hear about women a lot, but not men. So I do agree with that in that sense.
Well, there's reasons for that. There's many reasons for that, because you as man, you got to alpha your way out of the problem. Matter of fact, if you think about it, any man hear of that story that they just talk about the man that's performing and woman just grab his balls? A lot of dudes won't find that a problem. They say, hey, baby, grab on the way. There's no squeeze too hard, because we're trained society to accept it. It's a bizarre type of society we in, but you gotta live in it. There's not gonna be no shelters for men getting their head slapped up, getting punched or kicked, or even get weapons thrown at him by his mate. Oh no, you're gonna sit there and take it. And if you survive, good for you. But if not, they could make a lie and say, they had to do self-defense. It is what it is, As a man, you got to understand where you are, your position in society, where you stand. To know either you're going to accept it or not. There's no in between. I'm looking at my sign, Clubhouse. And it looks like no one is. Actually, let me see. I might close down the Clubhouse side of things since there's. Because I should have did this better, personally. But, I'm using the app, some simulcasting here on Clubhouse. So I'm not sure if I was doing it right from the start, but. All right. Well. All right. So let me keep playing. Fair use and effect, guys.
Even, and I talk about this like a lot of times women, we're just like bailed out of bad decisions we make, and it's like if you're bad with money and you get homeless, you have a women's shelter. Men are just homeless. There's a homeless shelter down the street. I want to do an interview there. Like 90% of the homeless people there are men, but it's like nobody cares unless it's a woman. There was I can't remember. It was somewhere in the Middle East. There was a group of women that were like kidnapped, and it was like national headlines or whatever. There was a group of men that were kidnapped and slaughtered, and they didn't even talk about. It's like they only care when it's women. It's like and when I first heard this stuff, I was like, no. But then once you see it, it's like you can't unsee it.
No, it's true.
But men are, I think that I understand what you're saying, but because men have so much power in society, if a man is homeless, it'll be like, you have so much power.
What percent of men have power? That's like me saying, okay, Like when they say, oh, you can get flown out to Dubai and all this stuff. And I'm like, a lot of girls, I'm like, I've never been offered anything. Like, I haven't been offered shit. Like, and it's an even smaller percent. It's like 1% of men that really.
In like the workplace, right? Because women have to take maternity leave already. They are already.
But you have the choice.
Standard.
You can choose. But you can remember. You could choose
to be a boss.
You could choose not to have kids. And under 30, a lot of women are out earning men in cities. So what do you say to that?
But a lot of women want to have kids, though. So that's what I'm trying to say. In society like favors men, really. So it's a bit unfair to just say.
Can I have an example? How does society favor men?
Well, like the high paying jobs. I know you're gonna say women don't want to do the high paying jobs, but most of the high paying jobs they favor men. Like a woman has to work 10 times harder.
Let me ask you a question.
Wants those roles.
Let me ask you a question. The NBA, it's mostly it's like what 60-70% black roughly. Do they discriminate against Asians? There's like no Asians in the NBA.
Oh no, but so you're saying they're better? Is that what you're trying to say?
No. I'm saying, does the NBA discriminate against Asians? There are very few Asians in the NBA. What I'm saying is, in any group, you're never going to find true equality of outcome. Because different groups like different things. So I think Asians make up like 90-something% of like, they're like typically in the US, sorry, please don't come at me for stereotyping. But they make up a higher percentage of like higher education admissions. Yeah. So you're never going to have true equality. And it's like me personally. I'm saying we shouldn't
don't care about men.
No, I'm saying we shouldn't. No, I'm saying we shouldn't fight for true equality because people want to do different things in different groups. And I'm saying in the top 1%, I've seen what it takes to get there. I've seen firsthand. I've seen my dad like grow up. He worked 60, 70 days a week. He didn't have a life. He didn't have friends. Most women we value a social life. We value having fun. Like what I've had to do the last 3 years to build this. Like Jess, most girls would not do it.
Oh no, not at all.
Oh no. And it's like,
well, that tells you living in a man's world. And there's nothing more than fruitful when you live in a man's world. And that's the consequence of being a man. You gotta do what's necessary to get ish done. And to be top of that percentage, you're gonna be putting in that many hours to get to 1%. And with that, the consequence, you're not going to have a social life. You're not going to be dating. You're not going to be having much sex if you get any sex. And you're going to probably not going to get much airtime outside either. Because you're putting everything and all your energies and efforts, hours and hours to build your business in a way where it makes money for you. And that's not an easy task. You know, we do live in the stage and the age of automations. Life is not easy for us, and people that make their own business is no different. There's no exceptions, only one rule. That rule is to be the top, you're going to put in that work, that serious work. So a lot of ladies that you hear make this money, they're not putting no goddamn work. Let's keep it real. Most everything that's handled to them is done by some other entity, mostly a man. Right? They had to get assistance. They get any other technical issues. Usually a man's doing that on the average. So there's not really much work, really, women have to do. Unlike Miss Pearl thinks, she knows what it really takes because her father is an example. Even her doing this podcasting thing, and from her own mouth, is work in itself. So just keep that in mind, ladies. Fair use.
It's like, and that's okay, but that doesn't mean women are being discriminated against. It means they don't want to work 60, 70 hours a week. I interviewed top, I decided I wanted more rich friends when I lived in Milwaukee. And I just asked executives if I could, $1 billion companies, if I could sit there, have a coffee with them and just interview them about their life. And both of them, that I got to interview, I could see the one deficit they had in their life. Neither of them really had families. And it was really sad. And you can tell both of them like missed out on a part of life, and you could tell they regretted it. You can't have everything. And women don't want to do those roles.
Wait, does that remind y'all of somebody that's going right now in the internet between Romeo and his father, Master P? His son said his father wasn't there. But for God's sake, for your father to become in the 1% range, this is what it encompasses. I'm going to snippet this part right here. Write this down. Y'all going to have to really pay attention to that part real closely, guys. And think good that this is what it takes to get to that 1%. And not everybody gets there with the efforts of the works they put in. So this thing about you're not going to have a social life and much family, it's not going to be much, and you're not going to be around your family like really like that. She's right on that. So keep in mind, when you hear this thing with Romeo and this back for Romeo and his father, you're going to have to ignore that. That's why I have no problem with Master P, what he has done or what the works he put in for all the years. Oh, you believe in Romeo, Juju? How so? If you want, you can give me some detail, explain. I'm listening. But my view is this, that his father had to do what's necessary for not only the family, but for himself. And to get to where he's at, you can't do that doing both. You got to pick. Anyway.
Because they are ungodly hard. Can you imagine having, like,
some women do.
But
some, it's a lot harder.
I said,
you've got to think, like, in the 90s, women couldn't even vote. This is
in the 90s.
In the 90s.
So
yeah, it was like 1980.
No, that's
that
not
women
true.
Got the.
Oh my God, yo. Juju, can we please help this lady, man? I mean, matter of fact, should I drop the fuck? Matter of fact, I'm dropping the link right now. I'm gonna drop the link. I gotta drop the link. Anyway, y'all guys want to come up? Y'all free to come up now if y'all choose to. If not, I understand. I don't believe what I just heard. Yeah, this is a setup. This is really a setup. This is really a fucking setup. I think this was set up. They bring black people on these podcasts to look and sound dumb. I believe this is all a scam. This is all orchestrated, in my opinion. This is orchestrated. This got to be orchestrated. This has to be orchestrated. God damn it. There's no other way I could see this. This got to be orchestrated. I wish I could rewind this back, but I don't want to mess the timestamp of this shit. But you can't tell me on live air, you talking about black women just got the right to vote in 1990? Are you motherfucking serious? No. Oh, hell fucking no. Fair use.
Like the vote? 20s.
No, it was 1918.
You said
18. Oh, 18. I think you said 1800s.
I think you said
18. Okay,
in the 1900s,
but why?
Women couldn't even vote.
So remember, but
that's not what you said, chick.
Why didn't women have the right to vote? Women, so historically, men had to go to war and fight. That is why women couldn't vote, was because if you had the choice today in 2022 and we were in war and you had to go fight on the front lines, would you pick it? Personally, and this is where people take me out of context and say, I don't think women should vote. Personally, if I in 2022 had the choice where I had to go fight in the front lines, just like the men in a war, or I could give up my right to vote, I would give up my right to vote. And that's what happened back then, is they equated voting with going to war. Because
all I'm trying to put it in, I agree with that, because men do take a lot on themselves. The fact that they fight for us, I appreciate men. Because the stuff that they do, I couldn't go to war.
But I'm saying we weren't discriminated against. It was just how society run. We weren't discriminated against. We had a freedom, like that was a freedom that came with the responsibility of getting drafted. That wasn't discrimination. If you wanted to be equally drafted, go vote.
Yeah, but what I'm trying to say is that's how
who's picking that? Who's anyone? Anyone? Yeah, she's like, I would give it up.
That's my point. Because they
I don't even like politics.
And it's also the same thing. Women didn't have access to education until very long ago.
They couldn't own property.
Which means that realistically...
It was you could typically, remember back then, it was typical for people to get married young. So it was typical for them. So the reason was when you were married, you were looked at as one. And typically women submitted to their husbands and trusted their husbands with their judgment. Women so that's why the property thing happened. And same with the property. It was like women still could own properties if they did not get married.
But you know,
but typically then women got married.
I'll tell you. If we want to go back into history, I'll tell you something about history that I think, and this is why earlier
shout out Emmeline
Pankhurst. That's why I mentioned to Andrew Tate that my problem wasn't necessarily with men. It is with the men that are running the machine that obviously controls our societies. Because when women first started going to work, they started going to work out of the fact that there was a lack of men in the country because there was war going on, wars. So women had to pick up, go to work, and do their thing. Cool. From the aftermath of war, there's women that are already in the workplace, and then there's women that also left widowed, which means that they now have a choice. Either you stop at home with your family and stay a housewife, or you're going to get up and you're going to go to work. And that's how a lot of women have become what they call masculine, because they come out of a trauma. They come out of also the consequences of history. And this is why at this point, and what I've been trying to say for time is, let's stop trying to blame women for what's going on in society right now. Let's understand that this is a construct and a consequence of history, and let's start respecting, because we cannot go back.
And I agree with you. I'm not saying it's one gender or the other. I'm just saying, like, we have been talking about the men forever. It's like I don't want no scrub. Is it, like there's no song saying I don't want no whale. A whale is like nobody's saying that. No, and I'm saying like we have had decades where we talk. It's like now the men are finally talking and we can't even give them their.
To be fair, that's kind of true, because even men, when they were singing about women, they sang a lot about
love songs. It was nice.
My dick. And I think it's sad to see that men are not making that music.
I feel like from the moment you're born, I don't know if it's just in an African home. In an African home, you're literally from as young as I was. My mom, I was 8.
So
my mom was like,
hold on, you African, you this dumb? Get the fuck out of here! God damn, Westerners, they really mess up the Africans, them for real, man. I can't believe this shit. You think this one probably might be more from the Caribbean / maybe, but your parents directly from the continent Africa, and you this dumb? Something not right here. Yeah. I think this is set up, bro. This is really set up for real. This is really set up. Let me read the comments. I know you wrote some juju. Hold on. All right, let me start from the beginning. No, that's not it. Hold on. All right, you said something about Lil Romeo. Okay, it makes no sense. As an adult, he gets his first check for the chips Romeo's did Empire, so he can finally keep it his own money. Master P sound like he did what Brittney Spears' father did. Yeah, this is true. Pearl. I know her ass is not in the UK talking about freedom. Yeah, it is, Juju. It's not the reason, you're right? The History Channel states otherwise. You're right. Let's continue.
You need to know how to cook for your man. You need to look good for your man.
You should be thankful you were naturally taught game. A lot of girls didn't get taught that.
No, I didn't get that.
Yeah, no. Like a lot of women would love. Like, I mean, my parents just started dating. My parents started dating when they were 17. No. My mom taught me no game. She's like, meet your husband in high school.
A lot of women aren't taught the basic necessities of being a woman, like cooking, cleaning.
This is shocking to me.
Yeah, so it's a privilege. Like you have something in your holster, in your bag that you can whip out whenever you need to for a man. Like, okay, I can cook for him, I can clean for him because you have it on you. A lot of women had to learn that on their own, or just had to go throughout life and learning it. They never were taught it, or they never needed to have it until they were in a position where like, oh, I can't do this on my own. I can't cook, I can't clean, I can't work a simple vacuum, I can't do this because things have been done for me my whole life, or I was never taught that. And so you shouldn't look at it as it like, oh, I was taught this from jump, I was taught how to cater to my man or be a woman. I mean, you should take them.
And like African women, like women like me, Nigerian background especially, that's all we know. It's about, even like now I'm 26. My mom tells me if I'm 30 without a husband, I am basically useless.
Okay, but you at least, so if you look at
Well, what do we have here, ladies and gentlemen? Chaos was right. Again. Boom. She is same age as Pearly Finks. And you sound so fucking dumb. Now, I'm not going to play the whole stream. I'm just going to go for like another maybe 10 minutes of this shit. And after this, if y'all don't have no thoughts, opinions, or want to come up and chat up for the last few minutes, I understand, guys. But really, truly, I think I had enough of this reaction. But anyway, let's keep playing because I'm gonna
dating app data. She's right. She's
I
absolutely
agree, she's right.
So if you look at dating app data, that's when the numbers change, where like women typically have more like leverage on dating apps than men until 30, and then men typically do. I can't remember. Some girl was going over the study, but and so like she was being honest. And if anything, you should be thankful for how well they prepped you for the world, because a lot of girls hit 30 and have no idea. Not like this is a privilege. Like a lot of girls don't have a dad or a mom to like tell them these things. And even me, like my mom didn't know shit about dating or the dating landscape. And it's like, so you at least know this at 26, where you can still make choices that would get you in a better position at 30, where other girls are going to hit 30 completely blind and screwed.
But you know what? Although today,
1 second, guys. All right, guys, let's continue. Please.
I'm not in your side. I will agree with her. And the only thing I will do is say it slightly different. I will say, like, for example, for me, like I mentioned, my dad passed away when I was 12. But I grew up seeing my mom cater to my dad. So I learned a lot from him. But then after he was gone, what my mom did is teach me these survival skills that you need anyways to be able to make it through the world. So I believe that even things like cooking, sewing, this, that's all type of kind of like self-care. And once you learn to take care of yourself, you'll be able to learn to take care of someone else. But the fact that a lot of the time, a lot of women don't also have the ability to take accountability means you're not taking care of yourself, because you don't even know what you're doing wrong, so you can't even be better. So when you go into a relationship, you land yourself in trouble. That's what it is. What you should be able to do for yourself, what you can do for others. If not, then there's no point in you trying to say, but I'm a woman, and why am I going to do this for a man? Do it for yourself. How can you not cook? What's going to happen if you can't cook? What about the fact that as a woman, you're going to be the mother? And as I mentioned earlier, as the mother, as the woman, you're going to be more nurturing. So these basic life skills, forget about even for a man. Do it for you and for the fact that one day you may want to be a mother. Then everything falls into place, if that makes it an easier pill to swallow.
I do have a question.
I agree with that.
I do have a question. From your perspective, Brittney, how was it for you? Correct me if I'm wrong. You grew up with just your mother.
So I was raised by my mom till about like 9, and then my grandma kind of took over. So when I was growing up, I thought my mom just didn't want to be around, but my grandma was really controlling and was basically like, I'm the mom now. So like she kicked my mom out, and my grandma was my caretaker, my grandma and grandpa. So I was raised with my grandparents the other half of my life.
Okay. How was that for you in terms of just learning how to be a woman whenever you reach that point?
I felt like a lot of their ideas were just really outdated. I felt like they were really strict and it was smothering. So even just going to a simple party or going to a friend's house, like as an adult, do I see why maybe parents aren't so quick to let you go over to someone's house? Yes, but it was to a place where you couldn't even explore. I didn't really learn too much from my grandma about being a wife or how to be in a relationship because I always felt like they just tolerated each other. I never really saw the love, like the bond. I've never really seen that. It's just always something I've known to be true, but I've never seen anybody do it.
Yeah.
So I felt like my grandma was trying to get me to cook and do little stuff like that, but it just was never something I really took an interest in. I'm like, I genuinely never felt like I belonged in the kitchen. Like, and that's where, too, I resented my thought process a lot growing up because I'm like, why can't I just be a little bit more simple, a little bit more obedient, maybe more agreeable, not have such a strong opinion, not be so introspective. That's just where I'm just different. So I feel like my grandma tried to teach me maybe how to cook, but as far as catering to a man, no. I learned everything on the fly. And that's where I think sometimes maybe I get a little frustrated with the internet's perspective because I'm like, you don't even know what I've had to go through to even be able to speak with this awareness. Like I've had to bump my head so many times to just be able to sit in my car and tell you, give you a sermon, you know? So I just never felt like I really was prepared to be a wife ever. Genuinely.
And you're not alone. I think a lot of girls feel like that.
Yeah. Well, that's some new information. I'm not sure what relationship she has with her mother. I'm not sure her mother was, one of them country type Mississippi mothers, the one that's, the white trash. I don't know if that's what they call it. I don't know if that's what Brittney mother is, but from her own experience growing up, it gives the notion that that's what it was. And if you remember, the grandparents lived during an era where they need each other. That's why you never seen such high divorce back for the silent generation and the boomers of that time, because at that time, human resource was a necessity and people need each other. Now, in the stage of modernization, it's not really a necessity now, unfortunately. So let's continue. Fairies in effect. And we almost wind this down, guys. We're wrapping this up, unfortunately.
Like, I mean, I don't think the stuff that we talk about on these podcasts would be so shocking if women weren't lied to for 50 years.
Yeah.
And I think it's like, even talking to Andrew today, like, wasn't it helpful? Like when he was talking about stuff, I was, even me, and I listen to this stuff all the time. I was like, oh, I never thought of that. Like when he was talking about how to get a guy to stop playing video games, I was like, I wish I knew this. I was like, wow.
That's actually a good one when I think about it. Yeah. I want to try it.
Do you think that coming from a 2-parent home and it's like a loving environment that's for everybody, that it sets up more for success to be able to operate in relationships or be willing to submit to whoever the man is because you've seen it growing up, or does it not have an effect?
I think that's a really great question. I know a lot of people who grew up in dual parent households and they saw their mother getting cheated on and staying. And I know someone recently, they were married for like 25 years or so, or 23 years. And she left basically when the kids were old enough to just none of them were in high school anymore. And I remember when I was talking to her, she felt like she was setting her kids up for success because we're all under the same roof. They have a better chance of whatever, right? And it still was damaging because you are witnessing your mother tolerate disrespect for security.
How did the kids know?
How the kids know what?
That she was being cheated on.
it was something that this particular situation, I know one instance was like one of their family friends.
Oh shit.
Yeah, it was really close to home stuff. And there was another scenario where
it was one of the family friends they were cheating on, or was that told them?
No, it was that they were cheating with one of their family friends. So like someone we go over to her house all the time, but my dad is sleeping with her.
Oh, so they would see the parent cheat?
I'm not exactly I don't think it was they physically saw it, but it was something that the mom would share. That they would hear arguments too, like if they weren't involved in the actual argument, they would overhear, which obviously, you know, exposing your kids to that stuff is one thing. But the other instance was the dad.
Oh, let y'all know. Come on, guys. Yeah, let's continue. Fair use. I thought I had the thought, but it slipped my mind.
Dad was going out to the club with like the son, and he had a girl with him.
Oh,
so it's like that direct, like, I don't respect your mom in this way. I can do what I want to do, and your mom's still going to stay. So that's where I feel like it really depends on what's going on in that household, because seeing your mom be basically disrespected for comfort, it's like it sends the wrong message about love.
I agree. Like blatant dislike. I can't believe he brought his son to a club and she like that. That's crazy.
Yeah, like the girl with him.
But I just think sometimes, you know, we never talk about like the women's part to play in this. And like one in 4 marriages are sexless. One in 4. And so I just think if you're gonna starve a man and he's begging you to sleep with him and someone comes on a platter, like that's why I say we never talk about why the men cheat. And a lot of people will take this out of context, like I believe in cheating, but like there are times where the woman is not sleeping with the man and then he cheats, but he's not naturally inclined to. And that's a conversation we don't really have. I'm not saying it's okay, but it's almost like, what did you expect?
But at the same time too, like, again, like, let's just, like I said, make it with me and you. Like, if you're my girlfriend and you don't want to sleep with me, my first go-to isn't to go try to sleep with someone else because I'm not getting it from you. I would want to explore the emotional depths of whatever you're feeling. What am I not doing? Why do you not want to be close to me? I want to be intimate.
You're thinking like a woman. And that's how a woman, right. But like men, it's just, come on, you know how guys are. I'm sure you especially, like being as beautiful as you are, like most guys, if you put yourself on a platter in front of them, would be down.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah, that's
not saying much, but yeah,
I mean, but that's what I'm saying. Like men have.
If you're giving him sex, he'll still cheat because there's options.
I would say most men.
He's still gonna cheat, Esther, my African girl. He's gonna fuck on you. He's gonna fuck on you, and fuck maybe others, because you already give a notion that you already set your mind that he's gonna fuck around. If you deal with a man that fucks around, then you dealt with a man that likes to fuck around. It is what it is. Fair use.
Men that have women on them on a silver platter will cheat. Yeah, like I would say
so
most, but not all men. Most men work a normal 9 to 5. They go to work, they come home. There's maybe one or couple girls in the office, whatever. He might cheat there, but most men, girls aren't really checking for. So if you date an average guy, unless you're starving him of sex, it's a lot of work for men to go out and get sex. That's why I say, what part did you have to play in him cheating? Like, okay, if you were with an elite athlete, right? They're just gonna cheat. That's just I see the normal. I saw D3 basketball players. I can't imagine.
NAIA.
I saw NAIA. I can't look at NBA. That's like I can't. But like your average 9 to 5 Joe, it's a bunch of work for him to go out and get a girl. So it's like, what part did you have to play? A lot of women are always nagging on their husbands. They gained a bunch of weight after they had a kid. Brittney's showing us firsthand, you don't have to do that. and it's like, then they stop sleeping with him and the men are like, wait. I thought I got a 120-pound wife that was going to sleep with me all the time. Now she got the ring where I'm locked into a contract for life and you could take my kids with me and my money and put me on child support, all this stuff. And now you're going to gain a bunch of weight and not sleep with me? Like, what did you expect to happen?
You're not holding up your...
Yeah, and so men, like, that's another reason men don't want to get married, because they're like, oh, I even had a guy tell me this. He's like, I don't want to get married. I don't want her to get fat.
But you know why a lot of the time as well, I may just say one thing. A lot of the time, the reason why some men get a little bit messed up comes down to insecurities. And let me land and I'll explain to you why. A lot of the time, the women that let themselves go in a relationship or in a marriage is also down to the fact that men, now that they own the woman, they do not want the woman to be approached. They don't want the woman to be desired by other men. It comes down to the whole territorial thing, which then means that you are now going to punish or going to complain, or you're going to put the woman in a position where she feels like whatever she looks like is a problem, so she'll let go of it and she won't even work for it. That's also another thing, another side of things. Women don't just let go of themselves for no reason. They start to let go of themselves because there's no desirability in general. Men need to understand, as a woman, for you to be beautiful and to feel beautiful is not just about you telling me that I'm the most beautiful girl in the world.
You know, to me, like, that's just nonsense. Girls.
Yo, I don't believe that's some garbage she just said right there. In my opinion, I think she's Spanish. She got to be. She got to be. She has to be. To draw that conclusion that saying the men don't, the reason why they let yourself go is that they're hoping that you're not going to explore your options now that you're married to one man, that you're going to be seeking other men to get attention and possibly fuck other men. That is nonsense. Listen, you know how many women that let themselves go on the average are going to still fucking cheat on their man? What the fuck are you talking about? What she said was bullshit. Fair use.
Girls let themselves go because they eat too much and they're lazy. I know a couple girls that got married and gained like 50 pounds. None of them are happy they gained the weight. They all wish they were thinner, but they're too lazy to fix it. It's like,
I don't know.
And now they have the ring. It's like less incentive. You guys know when you get break up with someone, you are in the gym. You're trying to look like you're, me too. I'm not saying I'm special. Me too. Or in the gym, we're trying to like get our bodies right, all this stuff. Mm-hmm. And then we get a man and we don't keep it.
I mean, the way I was raised, you cater to your man. Mm-hmm. So this is your king.
And I'm not so saying you
need to look good for him. So I don't know about letting yourself go. No, I've got him now. I need to keep him.
I agree with you, but I'm not saying you in particular. I'm saying this is what the men are saying. These are the issues they're saying.
Yeah, obviously, I think it's wrong. Like, when you get into a relationship, I don't think, like, letting yourself go, I think it's a problem as a woman. Like, why should you do that? Because it's going to leave you. I do agree with that.
Do you think a man can leave a woman if she lets herself go? He's asked her multiple times to lose the weight and she won't do it.
I wouldn't say...
Let's say there's no kids involved, because kids kind of change things. Well, let's say there's no kids.
Well... To be honest, yes, because no, but it's not unfair. You'll be telling your guy, how many times do you say, listen, I told him a million times to not do this. I told him a million times to get up off his ass. I told him a million times to do this. Yeah. He didn't do it. I left him. If you as a man, you're speaking to your girl and you're trying to make sure that she improves and she is better and she is not doing that, the problem is not that she's not losing the weight. The problem is the mentality, which is the fact that you are not willing to be better and get better so that we can both be happy and have the spark for life.
But see, this is what I mean when I say it's like there's little things that are open misandry against men and we don't always realize it. So like in this instant, you kind of hesitated, but if I came forward, and I'm not saying I don't think it's intentional, but if I said, yeah, I left him because he wouldn't work, he wouldn't get a job, you would be like, yes, girl. And
Don't
you
get
know,
your bag.
you would. You shouldn't be with a bum. And it's like, that's a female bum, a 300-pound whale. I'll say it again.
Be careful. Be careful.
The reason I'm a bit more sensitive towards women is because obviously you guys are saying your reality is different, but my reality, it's always been, you've got to be better for your man. So my world has always been about the men. And I'm like, so what is he doing for me? So yeah, I've got to learn to cook, clean, do all this stuff, take care of my man. But how is he helping me emotionally? How is he helping me feel good?
But men, that's not their job to help you emotionally. That's like where I think that's no. Okay.
I want to vent. I want to speak to my man.
Yeah, but
they don't want to listen. They don't want to hear.
So
it.
this is
doing all this for what? What am I doing?
Okay, you can't. I'm not saying they should never talk to you or ignore you all the time. But I'm just saying typically. Historically, you wouldn't even see your husband that much. That's not their job. You vent to your friends, your relationships with men. And this is something I learned. One time, I had an ex-boyfriend, and I was talking, and I was like, da 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 da, this person, da da da, and he was just like, shh, I don't care.
Oh, I do that all the
I don't care.
time.
And at first, I was like, what do you mean you don't care? I was like, that was so rude. But I sat and thought about it, and I'm like, you know what? I'm dumping my problems onto him. And that's not his job. He's not my therapist. We don't want a guy that's dumping all his problems onto us. We're okay. We're okay.
Being a companion.
That's
reasonable.
Right. But I'm saying. So again, they remember, this is things that we look for from men, but men don't look for from us.
But that's if I'm doing all this for you, what are you doing for me? That's exactly what I'm saying. I don't want to be cooking for my man. I don't want to.
I'll tell you. So
that's what they look for.
So, but I'm saying you're always going to get protection. And that's the one thing,
you don't need that on a day-to-day basis.
Okay, but if the world, if someone, okay, I'll tell you, living here, I wish I had a boyfriend, because it scares me a lot of times, living just, people know where the studio is sometimes, right? And there are crazy people, and I'm like, it would be so nice if I had a guy here,
walk you home.
Just not even just to if he was staying here, and it would be like if something happened, I know he would, there's some level of comfort you have with just having a man next to you, knowing that if shit goes south, you don't have to call the police, that he's going to protect you. They say women prefer fat guys with muscles over skinny men.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Because it's everyone's. I agree. That's how I would take that too.
No, it's true. And do you know why? Why, for example, for me, I love to cook for people, and one of the things that I love the most as well is to cook for my man. And I'll tell you why. Because at the end of the day, whether or not I'm a bad gal and I'm, successful and I can do my own shit and I don't need a man, it feels nice to show somebody, love through food, love through things that you are actually much better at doing. Obviously, I don't mind if a man can cook for me, great. If he can cook for himself, great. But I like to cook. Why? Because then when I go out, he'll pay for me, maybe, or he'll fulfill a certain role of chivalry that in today's age is not needed. But because I fulfill my role of chivalry as a woman, he'll give me that. Because we can't say, oh, he needs to pay a guy that don't pay.
All right, guys. That's enough of that. I stressed enough of this. Hope y'all enjoyed this so-called reaction of this. She should be getting a lot more hits with this stream she did. I have more views about Miss Pearly things, but to find Miss Renner was a part of it, the whole back and forth, I'm not really impressed. I'm very disappointed on the woman that, and I think she's Ghanaian or Nigerian descent, African. I'm very displeased of her personally, how she conducted herself on that podcast. And I'm convinced either she's paying these people to come on her podcast to make themselves look a fool, or they're doing it naturally. Either or, it was not a good look for a lot of Black people that's on that podcast overall in the long run, because we like to see nonsense and foolishness, and who better to sell and to have on it to make money but the Negroes? I'm just saying. But like always, to find me, guys. Follow me on Twitter at ChaosRain7. Add me a friend on Facebook, Eric Rain, and add the Discord service of the Chaos Rain channel. Be on the lookout for some other streams very soon. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. You know, hit the red button and hit the top notification bell. I got a few content lined up, so stay tuned. Stay tuned. But other than that, thank you again for listening or watching. Until next time, let it chaos reign.